What's happening, everybody? Welcome to the Podcast Unleashed on Thursday afternoon. Yes, we now start the countdown at 12:30. That was a mistake. I was a little late. I apologize. Also, Shane's mic was supposed to work over that countdown so that he can talk to you while I was setting things up. And I just realized when I started the countdown that Shane's mic was not working, and I couldn't fix it on the fly. So,
yes, it's okay. I mean, listen, let me say greetings, you beautiful 5,770 subscribers. You guys ever watch Russell Brand when he does that like every day? I remember when he started back at like 20,000 beautiful subscribers, and now he's like 5 million something or other. What a dude, huh?
I haven't seen
Happy
it.
Thursday to everybody. Got
Sounds
lots
cool.
of great stuff to talk about today, and we've got some new things to show you. If you were a member yesterday and you happened to be perusing YouTube, you saw a members stream pop up for us and went, yeah. And then you went and checked it out and went, oh man, what the hell are those guys doing? Brian, what the hell were we doing?
We were testing out new stuff because new season, new me.
Well, we wanted to take the opportunity. We're finally, we're starting to grow. We're getting a lot more viewers. We're getting more members. And we said, listen, we need to find a way to thank everybody for their support. And, a lot of people just kind of do this thing where it's like, oh, we do this or we do that, recognize somebody. But we wanted to make it fun because it's already tough sitting through a 4-hour live stream that we seem to give you every week.
4 hours.
We thought we'd make it more interesting. So when you support us today, as you can see, the first thing you can look at the top. So you've got number one, John Burns. So you're going to see a list of how many names? 5?
10.
10. So you're going to see the top 10 people who've supported us run across the top of the screen from time to time. And basically that's for the month of May. So starting back on May 1st, anybody who has super chatted us, super thanked, super stickered, gifted memberships, you go into this pool of support. So this shows how much that we've been supported by these people. And at the end of the month, we're going to be giving away to the top 3 people who support us a gold, silver, and bronze package. It's going to be a mixed teas mystery Popcast loot crate with some wonderful stuff in it for first, second, and third. So please keep supporting us there, and you can win one of those things. But Brian, what's this weird hit point bar thing we got going up here?
Yes, that my friends, is the current hero of the stream, which is a Podcast Unleashed.
So it's us.
Let's start with someone. But this is actually great. So when you super chat or get members or even just subscribe, it actually chops the health bar down. And whoever lands the killing blow becomes the stream hero until their killing blow, until their...
the unleashed hero, yeah.
Right. I'm sorry, unleashed hero. Until they're kicked off their throne and someone else takes a place.
Right.
And it's really interesting the way it works. Like, your interactions can actually, if you're already the unleashed hero, can actually add to your health bar. So it's a nice little mini game to play during the stream. I think it's cool.
Yeah, and what's cool is we're going to have, so whoever is holding the Popcast Unleashed hero spot the longest during the stream is going to win a prize. And at the end of the stream, we will randomly draw that prize among 5 things that we've picked out. And our wrenches are going to determine who was the boss the longest. Hopefully we have wrenches show up today. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and there it is.
So that's not the one.
That's the wrong one, isn't it? Damn it.
Yeah, that's not. But that is for members, which we'll be talking about. I tell you what, if you're a member of our channel, you're going to want to stick around for the members today because we're unveiling all kinds of really cool stuff for members. And if you're not a member, consider joining to be a member because we're going to give you lots of great content and lots of things.
Consider it, my friends. Consider becoming a member to this fair channel.
It's terrible.
Yeah, so I'm sorry. I've been up very late.
It's like standard operating procedure.
Yeah, but usually it's not working on the exact, this stuff to get it all done. Like I'm usually working on a video or something. So I'm a little punch drunk. but I'm super excited to be unveiling all this.
This is fun. Yeah.
And there's a bunch of really cool
sorry.
topics to talk about today. And I get to rant about Indiana Jones. It's gonna be fun. It'll be fun.
Okay, so can you show like the prizes that the Unleashed hero is going to win at the end of the stream?
I'm attempting to load that right now.
Oh, I see. You were diffusing, so you were talking in order to load it.
Yeah.
And I just didn't catch up.
Yeah, I thought it was already loaded, but instead of that going up, it actually activated the wheel. So
all right. Well, okay. Well, Brian's doing that. We got some more announcements. We're going to be doing something totally different. If you're a fan of the channel and you like Brian and I conversing together, which we do every Monday on our panel show for Raw Rant, and of course on Thursdays you get us in this format. We're also going to be branching out. Yes, for the first time in 7 years. How long have we been doing this? Long time. 7 years?
Too long.
Yeah. So, well, and that tells you right there. So for the first time ever, Brian and I are going to be doing our own shows. That's right. So on Fridays, I'm going to be doing a show, a live show. And on Sundays, Brian's going to be doing a live show. Brian's show is going to be all about DC. So if you're a big fan of DC stuff, he's going to be doing that one. And the Friday show for me is going to be wrapped around whatever the hottest topic of the week is that we didn't talk about. Tomorrow, it's probably going to have something to do with Hollywood, troubles with Hollywood, writer strikes, things like that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to start that tomorrow.
Very cool. Okay. So I'm having a hard time loading these products. So I'm just going to have to show you guys individually what they are. My animation isn't working.
All right.
But that's okay.
We might have a few bumps because this was pretty challenging to figure out.
Yeah. So the 5 prizes that we are giving away are going to be the signed copy of
ooh.
It's like a poster where they all signed it of the TNG cast.
Yeah, I don't think I think they're prints though. I don't think it's an actual like.
Oh, it's a print. My bad.
I think they're prints. Yeah.
And this is looks like it's some kind of frame print, which looks sort of cool.
It's got like one of those blackboard things.
Yeah, and then those are the collectibles. And then here's our own stuff. Shut up, Wesley. Always fun. It's gonna be a T-shirt. You can also win Shane's hat. Not my
or
hat.
Brian's.
No,
or
not
Brian's.
my hat. Only Shane's hat.
Why not yours?
I've just decided that. So.
Oh, you want to be the only one with a blue hat? Okay, I got it.
No,
that's fine.
No.
My hat looks better. That's fine.
No, here's the deal. You'll be able to select from either Shane or Brian's hat. That's fine. And then or a Star Trek Legacy mug.
Ooh, 20 ounces, and you have to put the coffee in it. Unfortunately, we don't provide that. But at the end, whoever is the podcast Unleashed hero will get a random, and actually everybody will get to see which prize gets selected. So.
We don't provide that yet.
What's that?
Coffee.
I don't know if we're going to do that ever. I mean, I know everybody's like selling coffee.
Bro, I
don't know how I
though.
feel about that. Why? Everybody's doing it. It's like
because it's cool and it's not very hard. And I'm fixing your frame while we're talking. I'm sorry. You're like jumping.
All right. I'm all over the place. Yeah. So anyways, we hope you guys have fun with this. We will show the list of winners for May so far, right? We're going to just show that real quick.
Yeah.
Do you have that available amongst the other 500 things that you've had to save and throw up?
You know what? Can you get off my? Give me a second, okay? Almost got it, bro.
I was like giving you an out. Like I was saying, like because of all these things you have to do.
That's the other wheel, right?
No, not the wheel. Just the shot. The one you sent me of the list of all the people. You know, the
May Super Chat leaders.
Yeah. The graph that you told me to do because Excel would be too cumbersome.
Excel looks stupid
to look dumb. So actually, that's really cool, but I can't even read it. So that's great.
All right. So that was a waste of time. So,
but anyways, that's our top 10 list right there, which you can also see scrolling across the top.
Yes. Okay. Rock and or roll. What do you want to start with today, brother?
Well, first thing I want to talk about is one other thing you guys have to check out. Brian and I have decided we've become completely obsessed with AI. We've lost our minds. He's had so much fun. At first, I was like so offended that Brian was turning my voice into like this AI chat weird thing. And I was like, this is not cool how this is going down. because I'm not in control of what I say anymore, and that's a huge problem.
Because I've been dominant. Because I copied Shane's voice, and I took the thousands of hours of high quality audio of Shane's voice, and I plugged it into a Stable Diffusion program to learn his cadence, his frequency, his rhythm, and then to create an AI version of Shane. At first, Shane was not happy with me.
Right, because he was like sending me things like, "Hello, my name is Shane, and Brian is the king of the world, and I love Brian, and Brian is the best." And so like he was sending me a bunch of this stuff in my voice, and I'm like, I never said any of that, bro.
Also, I made him say really, really like super gay stuff, and I don't think he liked that either. It was like, Brian's the sexiest guy on the planet. I would do anything for Brian.
Which made me question why anybody would do that. But so anyways, but then we had this really great idea. And Brian said, well, look, I think we can turn these into, we can actually make these automated. Like we could actually do like an AI YouTube channel. And I'm like, well, that sounds interesting. So then we started like feeding in information into the YouTube channel that was like, weird news stuff. So, for example, we did one with Jenna Ortega, right? Mm-hmm. As Wednesday Addams, right? There's some problems on the set. And so we let the AI create a thumbnail for us. So then we said, oh, this is going to get interesting. So now we've created a channel called Shine.
Yeah, right? Shine.
And it's basically Shine reads the news. So SHAI.
Okay, Kyle Broach is officially the I'm sorry, I have to address this. Just gave $200 to $199 to the channel, and he is officially king of the hill for the foreseeable future. So congratulations,
Kyle just owned the podcast here. Thank you, Kyle. $199.99. This is officially the biggest super chat we've ever gotten. Thank you so much. Let's start this off with a bang. Started watching you guys when Picard season 3 started, and haven't looked back. Keep up the good work. Love you guys. Thank you, Kyle. We love you too. And that is, we appreciate the support. So Kyle has set the bar here, and it's going to take a while to get him off. So please, let's get the wrench. Do we have our wrenches in here? If not, I'll have to put a tracker on. So let's start the timer on Kyle, and whoever's the boss for the longest for the show will get the prize at the end.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
It'll be fun. You guys will be fighting.
And I'm so sorry, Rebecca. I was trying to set this up and missed yours too. Rebecca Spade, also $5. Thank you, Rebecca. This looks cool. Can I be the king of the hill? Apparently not. I'm sorry,
but
Rebecca.
Keep trying, Rebecca. You can.
Yeah. She was like, I'm coming in hot. I'm gonna start this party. He's like, no. He just Captain Shot it.
Kyle also just became #1 on the monthly list, so John Burns will have to put his work in on the series of $2 super chats that he sends. We appreciate it.
Kyle just knocked everyone off the perch.
While Brian sets up the AI, also from Jeremy Schneider, $5 super chat. Thank you, brother. Long time supporter of the channel, Jeremy. Kyle punches the drywall. Thank you for the super chat, brother.
Thank you, guys. We really appreciate it. Okay, I have Shane, the Shane channel ready.
Are we going to do the Jason Momoa one?
Yeah, it's really funny. Okay. Oh my goodness.
Show them the channel first so they can see what it looks like.
Yeah, I know.
Did a pretty good job setting it up.
I gotta log into our regular thing, and so it's unmuted. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so this is the channel we set up. You can go to the channel by going to @ShaneProject. I will put the link here. I'll put the link in the chat, actually.
It's going to be, it's completely 100% automated AI. So we're going to be, all we'll do is select the news story. So we'll put whatever breaking news occurs. AI will automatically create a thumbnail, a title, and video and audio. So it's completely automated.
Yeah, so let me explain how it works. Basically, it's Shane. It's the digital Shane, which is why I called it SHAINE, Shane. Or like Shane likes to call it Shine.
Shine.
I'm just going to say Shane. But what it does is it uses unstable diffusion. It uses Midjourney models. It uses Beatbox Pro. It uses my own AI plus the Shane voice that I created, and that it was literally learning for the last several months. Since January 15th, it's been learning Shane's voice. So it's taken a long time for it to get to where it's at right now, but it's a really cool prospect. And what it does is, all we do is we send it an article, or a story, or something that we wrote, whatever, and it creates the audio. It creates the audio, the video, and the thumbnail, merges it together, and spits out a product. And all we have to do is upload it, and this is it.
So we're training. I think we're training him to be pretty sarcastic, right?
Well, so here's what's funny. Okay, this was just an experiment. Like, we don't expect this to actually go anywhere, but it's fun to play with, right? And I noticed that when we did the Jenna Ortega one, you were a little bit snarky. Your digital self, sorry.
Right.
Shane was a little bit snarky.
I would never do that. Come on.
And I keep telling Shane, like, dude, listen, Shane, you don't know this, but you have this, like, snark to you, almost like this sort of sarcastic thing. You don't even do it consciously. It's like a passive aggressive,
like I'm a passive aggressive asshole is what you're saying. Okay,
no, I'm not. No, it's not that. It's that you just.
It's all good. It's my face. It's my resting bitch face. I can't do anything about it. It's
the way you talk. You don't. It's not mean, but you throw like the little sarcastic notes in there, and I think.
I got it.
After 5 months of this thing learning your voice,
it's made a judgment over me
that the AI has decided that you're an asshole.
Yeah. So there's probably only one of these going to come out a week, and you're going to notice that if you end up subscribing to it, you're going to see this really weird thumbnail in your feed, and that should alert you that it's coming. So let's give them a little taste of it, and if they want to go and subscribe,
I do want to show them the Wednesday thumbnail real quick. That's the thumbnail.
That AI generated that.
That's AI generated. And the first one that it generated.
What was the title of the story so that people know why?
It was exactly the title of the video. Jenna Ortega owns up to unprofessional behavior on set of Wednesday.
So unprofessional behavior means tattoos.
so what it did was, so it took all the keywords from the article and the headline and used those keywords to create this image. And apparently tattoos is unprofessional. So it gave her random face tattoos or something. It's so weird. The first image it shot out was like a baby version of Jenna Ortega with tattoos. I don't understand it. But this is the latest one I put up was the Fast X story, where it talks about a clip where Vin Diesel's character.
Can you show the thumbnail?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it up right now.
Wow.
Vin Diesel's character shoots down. I guess shoots down Jason Momoa's character with a chopper. So.
Look at that car has a helicopter on it.
Yes, yeah, this is so funny. So this one happened. So I threw that one article in there, but because in the comments, it picked up the comments too, not just the article.
Okay.
So it picked up the comments where they referenced he referenced a moment where Vin Diesel compared Fast and Furious to the Lord of the Rings franchise.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, which is really lame.
Right. So on top of it, so the AI also started talking about that because the comments were talking about that. So it created the image of a helicopter and a car with a helicopter blades and a horrifyingly laughing Jason Momoa. I'm so confused.
All AI, guys. It's just
This is all AI. I'm not only confused, but I'm also worried because I'm a really good designer, and this is pretty damn good. I think I might be out of a job. Okay, so we're gonna play this, and you're gonna see, it's progressively becoming more and more like Don Rickles sarcastic, and it's taking these articles and it's writing them in the most like sort of mean way, but I can only explain it as sarcasm. and it's really funny. Here we go.
All right.
Wow, can you believe it? We're finally at the beginning of the end of the Fast and Furious franchise with Fast X. I mean, who wouldn't want to watch the same street racing, engine revving, and mind-numbing action for over a decade? It's a real treat for die-hard fans.
Die-hard fans.
And if that wasn't enough, they released a new clip with an amazing action sequence. Dom's car is wired with not one but 2 helicopters. Because, you know, that's a totally normal thing to do. And he crashes them together to get away from the villainous Dante, who, by the way, is Jason Momoa looking stylishly cruel. He's obsessed with Dom, which is both creepy and flattering, I guess. But don't worry, it's not just mindless action.
Creepy and flattering.
There's a deep and complex plot where Dante is out to hurt Dom in the worst way possible, because Dom is responsible for his father's death. It's all very one-sided because Dante adores Dom, which is a totally healthy and normal way to feel about your enemy.
It's so weird. This sarcasm
and let's not forget the
so unnecessary.
cast. We have
There's a part
Vin
where it
Diesel,
says
Michelle Rodriguez,
something really
Tyrese
sarcastic
Gibson,
at the end.
Chris Bridges, Nathalie Emanuel, Jordana Brewster, Sung Kang, Jason Statham, John Cena,
It's listening to
and
actors.
Scott Eastwood, John Cena, and Scott Eastwood. Plus, some amazing new additions like Helen Mirren, Charlize Theron, Brie Larson as Tess, Alan Ritchson as Ames, Daniela Melchior, and even Rita Moreno as
One car
Dom
blowing
and
up
Mia's
is not
Abuelita.
enough.
It's like a who's who of mediocre acting.
Who's who of
So mark
mediocre
your
acting?
calendars, folks. Fast X hits theaters on May 19th.
AI wrote this.
Don't miss out on the same old tired action and plot that we've been watching for over a decade. Earlier this year...
Okay, I'm gonna stop it.
Okay.
This is so funny. So first, I don't know why it lists every single actor. That wasn't in the text.
I don't know.
It went out and found all the actors, and then it lists all the actors. But the funniest part is it doesn't just list them like a computer. It then commentates after the fact and says, it's like a who's who of mediocre acting.
Mediocre acting. I mean, Shane is a good critic, man. Shane is a good critic.
He's putting us to shame, bro. He's making better thumbnails, bro.
He said something else too. He said something in there like, obviously, we need to do this again or something like that. Something very sarcastic.
Yeah. He was like,
anyways,
so if you're excited for the same old tired action, like what?
Same old tired action.
I didn't give it that text. It got that text and then read it that way. It's the weirdest thing.
It is weird. It's going to be fun just to kind of watch and see what happens. Like this, what's fun is this is true art. It's just doing whatever it wants to do. So if you guys are interested in seeing the Shane project, go subscribe. And there will probably be a video a week dropping on that channel for you guys to check out.
Okay, so there's one thing that I haven't told Shane about. I wanted to save it for the stream.
Oh, God. Wait, you're going to save it to do it to me live?
No. I'm not going to show you anything. But this experiment, on Twitter at least, has been done before. So they put a chatbot on Twitter a couple times. And every single time an AI is able to interact with people unadulterated, it turns into a racist, sexist, conspiracy theorist in a matter of weeks, if not days. After 3 projects, your AI has gone from like mild-mannered Shane to asshole already.
3 projects.
And so every video...
That's it. 3 videos.
Every video that comes out, it's going to get more and more mean. And I'm worried that I might have to start watching the videos before uploading them.
To make sure that he doesn't say something like, I'm going to kill you. Or
to make sure that there's no like racial expletives or like, and like, I don't know. Because I'm not writing the text. I just send it the topic and it even writes the headline. I love this headline. The headline for the Fast and Furious one, the snark starts with headline: Diesel hits Aquaman with a chopper. It's like Lord of the Rings.
That doesn't make any sense.
That's the headline, bro. You can't see it because
it doesn't make any sense. It's like Lord of the Rings.
It says Fast X never-ending saga. Diesel hits Aquaman with a chopper. It's like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. The best part of the whole actual story that was put out was Vin Diesel saying, I now understand what J.R.R. Tolkien felt like when he did Lord of the Rings after making Fast X. What the fuck you talking about, dude?
He said, it's so hard to write this mythology.
It's expanding your universe.
You can only expand so far. Now I know why Tolkien stopped writing.
So he just compared Fast and Furious franchise to Lord of the Rings. That's hilarious.
He compared himself to Tolkien.
And he compared himself to J.R.R. Tolkien. Slow down, Vin. Slow down, dude.
Prolific, celebrated authors of all time. That is great.
Yeah. Vin Diesel. There's a short list. It's J.R.R. Tolkien, Vin Diesel. Those are the greats. Maybe
that's it. J.R.R. Tolkien and Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel.
Anyway, so I did start the project off with 3 videos, and I tried to make them varying. I put like a TV one, a movie one, an industry one in there. But the news is we don't really have control over this. We have a little bit of control, as in we can veto things that are going to go up. But it's going to pick whatever is most popular at the time where it's scraping. So next week, if it hopefully pops out something, stay tuned for that. Who knows what it could be? Who knows?
Yes. So anyways, we're going to get on to the other stuff. But once again, Kyle Proch, man, you just killed this thing with $199. I'm still like shocked. I'm like, I don't think I've ever seen that much on a stream before.
Yeah. Okay. So let me explain also how the game works, because Kyle, I was hoping that I would be able to explain it in real time, but Kyle Roach has just broken it. Thank you, Kyle. So it starts off with like 2,500 HP, and it's just us, right? Podcast Unleashed.
Hit points for
HP, hit points. Health,
life.
Now, certain things, subscribing and liking and members and super chats and gifting members, like what interactions have different values, and that knocks off the HP. Now, if you overvalue it, like Kyle did, right? Then it takes whatever you overdid it, the overkill, and it adds it to the HP when it makes you the Unleashed hero.
Right.
So because he gave $200, and he probably could have been Stream Hero for like $25, it just gave him like 17,000 HP.
So he's got lots of points to knock off. Yeah.
Or 18,000 HP.
So anyways, yeah. So super chat and super thanks can knock down Kyle's score. Good job, Kyle. And we don't have a wrench, I think, in today, Brian. So we need to consider probably making some new people wrenches. Been with us for a while.
Okay.
And in fact, I'm going to add one right now.
All right. If you see your name scroll at the top and you're in green, that means you're also a member. So you're not only on the board, but you're also a member. So that's the point of that. Okay. So what do you want to get into first? Which story do you want to talk about first, brother?
The first one I have up is, I think we should talk Star Trek. There's actually, Brian and I talked about it. We really loved doing the weekly Terry with you guys leading up to Picard season 3. And there's going to be Star Trek Legacy news for a while and things happening. So we're going to continue doing a weekly segment, and it's going to be called the Weekly Star Trek Legacy, right?
I don't like that title.
I know it's not the same, like the Weekly Terry. So this would be like the Weekly Star Trek Legacy.
You guys, give us some ideas in the chat for a segment about updates on Star Trek Legacy. We would like to hear your opinion, because I don't like that title. It doesn't flow off the tongue.
Okay,
I can't do the Weekly Star Trek.
Well,
it doesn't work.
You it almost needs to be one word. So the Weekly Terry was just one word,
right.
two syllables, right?
Yeah, the Legacy Report. I don't know.
The week, yeah. Well, I don't know. We'll come up with something.
Yeah. So
anyways, we're gonna talk Star Trek.
Yeah.
Let's talk Star Trek. Let's talk Star Trek. We got several topics here, including I thought it was interesting. We haven't heard a lot about Ed Speleers. So Ed Speleers came in, and of course he played Jack in Picard season 3, did a really awesome job, up and coming actor. And he's becoming so popular, but we haven't heard a lot about him. So recently it was reported that Ed Speleers was actually asked to do a little research before accepting the role as Jack in Picard and being Picard's son. And they really wanted him to understand Jean-Luc Picard's journey before becoming his son. And I was really surprised to hear this because it's not typical for people to say, hey, you need to go back and watch Star Trek. If you've watched a lot of other Star Trek shows, it's always like, these guys have never even seen Star Trek.
Right.
They come in and they're like, I don't watch that stuff. But Ed Speleers did the work. And going back and taking a look at it, it looks as if he actually had several episodes with which he was told to look at. One of the things he was told to do was to go back to Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan movie and start there. And they actually wanted him to watch Wrath of Khan all the way through First Contact.
Okay.
So all the movies. So Wrath of Khan, Search for Spock, Voyage Home, Undiscovered Country, all the movies all the way through First Contact. It's interesting because Terry and his team actually had him watch non-TNG movies.
Oh, wow.
So think about that. What does that mean? Like, they wanted him to get the tone, because if you think about it, the Star Trek Picard season 3, it's about TNG, but it's really an homage to those TOS movies, starting with Wrath of Khan.
Right.
So they probably wanted Ed to get the tone and the style that Terry and his team were going for, which is why they had him start back there. So they had him watch all those. Then they gave him a series of TNG episodes. Specifically, here are the episodes they gave him. Measure of a Man, Yesterday's Enterprise, The Best of Both Worlds, Part 1 and 2. So if you go through these, they're all important. So Measure of a Man was the one about Data. Yesterday's Enterprise is when the Enterprise C came back and we got Tasha Yar again. Best of Both Worlds, Part 1 and 2 is when Locutus takes place. Darmok from Darmok and Jalad, of course, one of her favorite episodes where Picard has to learn an entire new language based on feelings or
right.
It was really interesting.
Yeah, I
love that.
I think a lot of people still don't fully understand how that worked. That was really cool though.
It was tough. I mean, it was
The memes afterwards were the best. The buddy cop memes, yeah.
Buddy cop stuff. And then of course Iborg, which was a really great episode. The Inner Light, which, by most Star Trek TNG fans would say that's probably the best episode of TNG, where Picard lives an entire lifetime.
Hands down.
In somebody else's body. When you think about it, imagine living your life now and then living another one, like right now being however old you are, 40, 45, 50, however old you are. You're just cruising along and all of a sudden, boom, you're in like this other person and you spend an entire lifetime. And then at the very end, you just pop back in your body. Like when you think about the ramifications of that, what they really did is they, at the end of that episode, what a lot of Star Trek episodes would do is when he comes back onto the ship, and he wakes up basically from this experience, the episode would just end. But they really let us think about it, let it sink in a little bit when they did the thing with his little flute, with the Resican flute.
Yeah, the Resican flute.
They gave us time to like process what happened before the episode ended. And I really think that's one of the great ones.
Yeah, I gotta say real quick, other shows have tried to do something similar, but they don't quite stick the landing. Now, because I know what they're doing, I appreciate it, but they don't quite understand the importance of what happened. In Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the framework season, one of the characters who was really sort of like squealy and, sort of like he was very smart, but he was very scared of everything. One of those kind of guys. He got stuck in this world where he lived an entire life as a guy who didn't lose his father. And so he ended up being like, he worked for the bad side. He worked for the bad guys, Hydra. And his dad was real hard on him. And he was like this hard, evil man. And then he gets out of the framework and he remembers that entire life. He's not an evil man, but he has all those skills, those interpersonal ideas, and he's a completely changed person going forward. And I don't think people fully understood because it didn't stick the landing. It didn't explain how that changed the character fundamentally, giving him before he was a really nice guy, very smart, but very squirrely, and now he can use a weapon and he's a little mean.
What are we talking about? What show?
This character in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, not Star Trek. Okay.
Sorry, and I really appreciate that because I knew that they were basically doing the same thing that Inner Light did, but they didn't stick the landing.
I see.
And other shows do the same thing. I'm not gonna drone on about it. There's a lot of shows that have tried this and they never stick the landing because they spend too much time on the fantastical and not the explanation. And I love how Star Trek fixed that.
Yeah, and it has a lot to do with I think Patrick Stewart's performance with that episode. You can tell that it changed him as a human being. Like his character was different after that experience. You could just tell. Chain of Command Part 1 and 2, Tapestry, and of course the finale episodes All Good Things Parts 1 and 2. Specifically, I guess the episode that had the most impact on Ed Speleers was Tapestry. Tapestry, of course, is the episode where Picard is attacked on an away mission and he dies and meets Q in the afterlife and offers him the chance to change a crucial moment in history and prevent the mistakes he made of his youth. This is the episode where we end up meeting his parents. And it's a really traumatic incident. And I think Ed Speleers thought Jack, he could learn the most about being Picard's son by seeing this younger version of Picard,
right,
and the experiences of his parents. And I thought that was interesting that they chose that instead of Picard season 2. He could have said, go watch Picard season 2 because you had a young Picard with his mom and his dad. Right. That's not what they told him to do.
Nope.
For Picard season 3. So, I mean, what does that tell you? It tells you that that's not where they wanted the focus to be. They wanted to change the narrative for Picard season 3 because they weren't going for a continuation of Picard season 2. They were going for, go back to TNG and finish the story.
Right. Probably because Picard season 2 was not remotely the same tone for the character that was TNG. It's almost like it was a bad idea to do. So I'm glad someone recognized that. All I'm saying is it doesn't fit the character. In fact, it's almost like you're dealing with a completely different character that has a completely different backstory somehow. It's weird how they tried to add and force so much into that season that was so opposite of what Picard is or has been through.
Yeah, they're never going to come out and say like Picard season 2 was wrong. Like Terry and his team are never going to come out and criticize them. But it's little things like this that show you that it's criticized. Like you can't hide, hey, listen, I really want you to study Picard season 2 and look at what Jean-Luc's motivation was and what he went through as a child. Right. No, it's go back and look at Tapestry. And that's the appreciation that you get. Because a lot of people complained and said, well, look, Picard season 2 ruins Tapestry, the TNG episode with his parents.
It does.
So, yeah.
It does ruin it. That's the problem. It does. We got some super chats here. Before I get to it, one more thing about Picard season 2 is when you adjust it. I'm assuming what they were trying to do was add to the character to make the character more deeper, more meaningful. Hopefully, to make the character better to watch, even if you're watching it retrospective, right? But what it did was it made the character weaker, almost. It made the character's decisions confusing and almost selfish, and it didn't fit at all with what we grew up with and what we were told for 20, 30 years what Picard was, who his family life was. I always assumed that he had a pretty solid family life, and he was estranged from his brother. It's such an interesting, it's a irresponsible change to the character. And if you do that out of selfishness because you want to express your own feelings and your own childhood issues through this character you're writing, that's selfish and it's irresponsible.
Okay. I agree with what you said.
Yeah.
I was going to put in a poll here, see what everybody else thought.
Yeah, put it in there while I read the super chats. Andre Benson for $2. Thank you, Andre Benson. I think Andre wants us to do the weekly legacy.
Say it like you mean it.
Excuse me.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Andre.
Weekly legacy. Oh, it's not bad.
I think it works. I like it.
I like it.
Good suggestion, Andre. And it was that simple. You know, it just took somebody in watching to actually tell us what the hell we should actually do.
I don't know why we didn't think about that. Why didn't we think about just putting Legacy instead of Terry? I don't know.
Because you feel the need to put Star Trek in there somehow.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Foxhound for $4.99. Thank you, Foxhound. Thank you so much, my friend. Ed was class. He was clearly passionate about the role, and Kirk's ship was his favorite. Winky Space. Yeah. When he said, that's my favorite, or whatever, when him and Seven were looking at the ships, I was like, that's a man of good taste. That's a manly man. I see myself in that character. It's great. Not because the color of his skin or the fact that he's skinny and I'm fat. No, because he wants to do the right thing. He loves his family. Even when he was, oh my God, this was actually so great. When they revealed that he was in the bar, he actually went to go find his dad when he learned about him. Right? It wasn't like
he did try. You're right.
Right. So his mother thought that he didn't want to bother, but in reality, Ed or Jack actually went to go see his dad, and he goes to the bar, and there's a bunch of cadets fawning over Picard, and when what Picard tells Jack that his need to connect with Picard is actually quite selfish, because Picard doesn't want this, doesn't need this, whatever, from what he said. And you can interpret it this way. He was offended and walked away, or you can interpret it as he selflessly didn't want to. If this man didn't want this, then that's fine. And I see it both ways, and it was just a beautiful setup for the character. Sorry.
Yeah, I think it was extraordinarily immature, which makes sense because Jack is an immature. He's a kid, and what do kids? The way kids look at it is they're going to look at it as, you know, he probably heard him say that and said, oh yeah, it confirmed every one of my thoughts. You know, of course you didn't want to have anything to do with me.
Right.
You know, which I don't know if it makes sense. Like if you go back and look at, you know, what did Beverly say to Jack to make him feel the way he did about his father?
And she probably, and I'm assuming, we don't know this, I would assume that what she did was without saying bad things, maybe gently persuade him to not go after Starfleet because she was trying to protect him from that life.
Yeah, they
I
allude
could see
to
Gates
that.
doing that. Or not Gates.
They allude to that. They must have, right? Because why else would Jack have the feelings that he has about his father? I mean, he waits so long to go and search him out that Beverly must have been like quietly laying the anti-Picard rhetoric through most of his life, even though it comes out and says, you know, she didn't. She left it open for him. There must have been that because when he showed up, his fears were confirmed based on what Picard said, and of course that kept them from coming together. So
yeah,
really just a great story. I mean, could you guys imagine any different storyline where Picard has a kid? Like, was this not like the best way to like unveil a child and like do the whole story? I mean, how else could they have done it better? Like there was drama, there was emotion, there was, you know, there was growth, you know, I don't know how else they could have done it. This was like perfect to me.
No, yeah, it was really well done. My wife is finally watching the series.
Wow, that's amazing.
Let me tell you something. You guys don't know. If you guys have wives, girlfriends, or boyfriends, whatever you're into, and they, I don't know, if you have significant others, if you have significant others that are willing to watch Star Trek with you, hold on to them.
Never let them go.
Never let them go. Mm-hmm. I have been married for 20 years this February.
Congrats.
This coming February. Thank you. 20 years. I'm realizing right now, and like I'm having like this existential crisis right now because I'm realizing how fucking old I am. But dude, it's crazy because I have been a lifelong Star Trek fan since I was like 7 years old. Since going to a convention with Robert Kaplan, one of our dad's painters, and seeing Spock ears, and I remember every episode and how much I enjoyed it, right? And then I was like, my wife's not into sci-fi, no big deal. I'll get her into it. It's beautiful. 20 years.
She just, you know what? You finally just wore her down.
I've been trying.
It took 20 years.
For 20 years. No, you know what it took? Ed Speleer's beautiful mug and the fact that she is a massive Downton Abbey fan.
Oh, well, there you go. That's what it is.
I was like, babe, do you want to watch a show that made me cry that has Ed Speleers from Downton Abbey in it? She goes, oh, yes.
It was the made me cry thing.
That sounds awesome.
Mm-hmm.
She goes, Ed Speleers, really? I love that guy. I'm like, yeah, this show is so emotional that it made me cry. And I don't cry for nothing. And she's like, put it on right now. Didn't even tell her title. Didn't say anything. I just put it on, right? And she's like, is this Star Trek? I'm like, yeah. She goes, oh my God, are you kidding me? Like, why are you doing this to me? I'm like, look, you don't like it? Fine. I just want you to watch the first 2 episodes. First 2 episodes, not hard. Watch the first 2 episodes. You don't like it after that? Won't say a word. I won't bother you like I normally do every time a Star Trek show comes out.
Okay.
Goes, okay. 2 nights, 2 episodes. She was like, it's a good show. Ed Speleers is great. I think she has a crush on Ed Speleers, actually, but that's cool.
That might be what it is.
Whatever it takes, bro. Okay.
I mean, you got a better situation than me. My wife wakes up in the middle of the night, like she'll be dead asleep, and I'll have like Voyager on or some sort of Star Trek on in the middle. That's what I go to sleep to at night. And she'll wake up with her eyes kind of half open, and she'll be like, what is this awful thing you have on TV? And it's every single, I'm like, babe, you're not even awake yet. Like, how do you know it's awful? They're like, it's Star Trek. Oh my God. So it's, yeah. And I love my wife dearly, and that's fine that she's not a Star Trek fan. But if you do have a Star Trek fan as your other, hold on to that person.
Hold on to them tight.
And there's some of our people that do. We've gotten messages. We've gotten messages from some of you guys that say, hey, look, me and my wife not only watch Star Trek together, but we watch your show. So huge shout out to those families. And you guys are the lucky ones.
Every time I like, so sometimes we put a video out and we'll have like a shirt that we're putting that we're like selling on the video to support the channel. And every once in a while I'll see like an order come through where it's like an extra large shirt and a large women's medium. I'm like, you son of a That's a couple buying the shirts. It's a couple buying the shirt together. Oh shit.
Oh man, I know.
It's okay. It's all right. From No Money G. That's what I'm gonna say your name that way from now on, No Money G.
That's how you gotta say everybody's name now.
No Money G. I cut Picard season 3 into a movie. Oh, I cut Picard season 3 into a movie cut for myself and watched it again. It plays so much better cut together. It's almost exactly 8 hours total. Don't tell the powers that be. Well, first off, can I get a copy? What? Don't Bogart that movie, my friend. Pass it over to me. Seriously. And the powers that be, no. Now. So.
Nice. No Money G, thank you so much. And No Money G sitting in, I think, the 3rd spot right now.
Number 2 spot.
Monthly. Number 3 right now.
Well, 3 now because of Kyle Price.
Because yeah. So, but thank you so much, No Money G. We had such a great time in Vegas. I hope we get a chance to do that. We're talking about trying to do a meetup out here in Los Angeles with Chris Gore and Robert Meyer Burnett, trying to do like our own little West Coast meetup thing. So we'll let you guys know.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. Yeah, maybe. Isn't Reagan out here too? He's in LA, I think.
Yeah, he's still breaking into the community. So yeah,
that's true. Tea and Toys. I owe you $198.01.
What does it say? I cannot read these. Let's see. It's so
you can't see it. It's right there on the screen. You don't see it?
I know, but it's the way I see it in my thing. It's hard to read.
Oh, I see. Well, if you log into the back end and go to viewer activity, you'll see her super chat.
I owe you $198.01. Thoughts on upcoming B5 movie. I love that. Tea and Toys. Thank you so much.
I know a lot
Yeah.
about it if you want me to talk about it.
Well, yeah, that's the question.
So it's
Go
an
ahead and answer.
animated movie.
Go ahead and
That's the bummer. So let me give you the good stuff. A, I'm stoked that they're doing something with Babylon 5. Babylon 5 deserves a shot at 2023, 2024
Agreed.
at this century, right? At this modern age. However, I'm bummed that they couldn't put the money up to do live action, even if it's a miniseries or a standalone direct-to-stream movie, whatever. I don't understand that. Animated is fine. I know that the people out there love animated, but there are also a lot of people that have no interest in it. So we have two people right now on the stream, me and Shane. I like animated stuff. Shane can give a crap.
Well, unless there's one way that they can get it so that I'll love it. If they treat it like they treated the Star Trek animated series in the 70s, if they do it that way. See, so when they did the Star Trek animated series in the 70s, the one thing that they said that had to be done was it had to be Star Trek. So the only reason Gene agreed to do animated, they couldn't afford to do live action. So that's why. And this is the same reason that that B5 is going to be this way, Babylon 5, is because they can't afford to do live action. So the same thing happened to Star Trek in the 70s. They said, look, we can't come back. They wanted to bring back TOS and do it again. They just couldn't afford it. They had already broken all the sets. Everything was, was done. So they decided, okay, we're going to go with Filmation and we're going to do the animated series. And so they came back, right? An interesting story. Spock, actually, Leonard Nimoy said that he would not come back if Nichelle Nichols and Sulu, I don't know why I just drew a blank on his actual name.
George Takei.
If they didn't come back, they weren't going to bring him back for the animated series because they couldn't afford to pay everybody.
Interesting.
And Leonard Nimoy says
they couldn't even afford their voices. That's
pay
crazy.
all the people, right? So Leonard Nimoy said, "Well, if they don't come back, I'm not coming back." So so he held out, and they all came back. But the thing was, the trick was that if they were going to do the animated series, and this is why if you go back and watch the animated series today, like it's obviously old animation, but it's all Star Trek stories through and through. Like it's like watching TOS episodes with the story because they had the same writers from TOS writing the animated series.
Right.
So that was it. Now, if Babylon 5 can do the same thing, like if they can animate it, but then write it as if they're writing Babylon 5 episodes, then I'll be okay with watching it. I don't like it when it gets silly.
So if it was a series, I would agree with you. It's not. It is a movie. So you have, roughly an hour and a half tops to tell this story and reintroduce characters via animation. If it was a live action movie, it'd be a lot easier to do so. It would be obviously more expensive, but it'd be a lot easier. Animation is awesome, but the best animation is when the animators have plenty of time to flesh out the characters on screen. So I would tell you the best animation, in my opinion, are TV shows, series, because you have a lot of time. There's only been a handful of animated movies that I actually enjoyed, and usually it was something involving DC or Marvel, and I already knew the characters, so I didn't have to be introduced to them again. So I don't want to down this. I do believe. So first of all, the original creators involved. He did Sense8 on Netflix. He's very, very talented, but I also don't understand why he's doing. I don't know. Go ahead.
It's a temperature test. So they're going to do this animated series, which is a lot cheaper than doing, live action. And they're going to see how it goes. They're going to find out if there are Babylon 5 fans who actually want Babylon 5 content. If it has a really good turnout for this animated movie, then they may explore something further. That's what's going to happen.
Interesting. I did not consider that, Shane.
That's what you got me here for, brother.
Fascinating. So yeah, and Shane is 100% right. Studios do this all the time. They've been doing this for 30 years. Plus, when they introduced the X-Files reunion 4-episode arc or whatever, Like, that is to tell you, like, should we bring X-Files back? Did we get enough turnout? So they do a little mini series. But remember when they brought X-Files back for that little mini series, they also had the actors already contracted for a 3-season run, of which they never did. Right? So they had set their ducks up to knock them down had the audience responded properly, but they didn't because you came back with this like really like sort of, you know, modern Hollywood approach to it. Didn't work out. So this is what the synopsis for Babylon 5 is. Travel across the galaxy with John Sheridan as he unexpectedly finds himself transported through multiple timelines and alternate realities in a quest. That sounds really convoluted, by the way. In a quest to find his way back home. Along the way, he reunites with some familiar faces, while discovering the cosmic new revelations about the historical purpose and the meaning of the universe. That sounds like a lot to work with in the time allotted in a movie.
You're right. It's going to have to be just a taste. That's all you're going to get. I mean, an hour and a half animated movie. I mean, you can do it. I mean, you look back at a lot of the South Park movies that they did, but you already had a whole universe. So what they're going to do is they're going to go back to Babylon 5. They're going to go back to the TV series, and they're going to try to scrape together some overarching movie idea for the animated movie. And they're going to piece it all together. They're going to try to make it as much fan service and also probably a little bit of news story as possible to try to get people interested so they can do live action. I mean, that's just the long and short of it. With science fiction right now, it's hard to just get people to throw money at it. We're going to talk about it here in a little bit, but Paramount's in trouble with their money. And guess what? All the streaming services are in trouble right now.
They're really in trouble.
So everybody's in trouble. They overextended.
I ranted for almost an hour last week about the numbers that I looked up prior to the show. And then literally the next day they had earnings calls and all my information was wrong.
Yeah.
All right. So real quick to wrap up the B5 thing. It looks like the movie will debut at San Diego Comic-Con 2023, which is July 20th, so it's right around the corner. And the creator does say that this is the most B5-ish of anything I've done since the original show. Yeah, I hope so. You haven't done B5. What a weird thing to say.
They might have done some comics, no?
Feels the most B5-ish of anything that we've done since the original show. Okay.
Well, there's nothing else for you to say. That's all you can say.
Right. Okay. So that's it. Once again, reiterate. I would rather have seen a movie. If this is a temperature test, great. In front of you here, I like animated. Shane doesn't. Shane did say, though, that if they did it with respect, the way they did the Star Trek animated series, then it'd be worth the time. So let's hope. Let's hope for the best.
That's it. Yeah, and just note, you guys have managed to put a little dent into Kyle's hero status. He's down about a little over 3,500 points on his health. So good job whittling that away.
He's like the raid boss at the end of Final Fantasy X.
And you got everybody else like you got the entire
he's like
guild.
Baron Nashor from League of Legends or Roshan from Dota 2. He's like the unstoppable foe. Everyone has to fight to bring down.
It's going to take a little bit of everybody to bring him down. So with that, actually, I have this next story I want to talk about with Star Trek related to Eddie's super chat. So do you want to go ahead and do that?
Yes. Eddie from outer space. Hi,
Great name.
I really want Star Trek Legacy to happen under Terry Metellus and his crew. All the possibilities. Where to take it? Oh man. TOS, TNG, DS9 is peak Trek. STL is close.
Thank you, Eddie. Really well said. Appreciate the support, my friend. We just happen to have some interesting information about Star Trek Legacy that we want to talk about. So there are 15 storylines already set up for us to go in Star Trek Legacy. So what could Terry Metellus and his team focus on moving forward that he's already set the stage for.
Can I
So
tell
let's
you?
go through those.
I quite literally hate half of these possibilities. I hate it. Like,
Well, as we go through them, you can talk about
it's a
what you don't
guttural
like.
reaction. And real quick, just to remind you guys, if you don't know, the petition is at 48,589. We are a few hundred away from 50K, baby. Let's get it.
Yeah.
If you haven't
once
signed
it hits,
go ahead.
go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, if you haven't signed it, go sign it.
Yeah. Once it hits 50,000, that's going to bump it to the next level. Of course, that's at terrytrek.com. Share it with your friends. I mean, it's already gotten more signatures than any other Star Trek petition has ever gotten.
Ever. Yeah. And you know what's funny is, just so you know, change.org actually reached out to us personally, an actual person, not a form letter, and was like, let's get it. Let's work with you guys. Let's get it there. It's crazy. We've made petitions before. We've never received any actual communication from change.org. So I was shocked.
Yeah, it's very cool. And what it means is there's something happening behind it. So they're supposed to help us actually also put some pressure on CBS and Paramount. And hopefully it'll get some more views. There's a lot more than 50,000 Star Trek fans out there, especially even Picard season 3 fans. So we just need to get this in front of more people. So if you can keep sharing it, the more people that sign it, I can tell you this, if we hit somehow like 100,000 signatures on this thing, I mean, Paramount can't ignore it. It's unignorable at that point.
Yeah, it's
so many news people will be talking, so many news outlets will be talking about it. It will be unignorable.
Yeah, and I don't see why we can't. We have videos about Star Trek Legacy with 700,000 views. Like, we just need 100,000. It shouldn't be hard.
Yeah. It's just about people taking the time to click on it. Honestly, it takes like 30 seconds. You know, you go over there, if you don't have a change.org account, I don't even know if they make you sign up or not.
Yeah, you can sign in with Google and no money required. You just sign your name and if you want to
don't give any money. Please don't.
In fact, don't. If when they ask you for money, please do me a favor and don't give them a penny, okay?
Don't give them any money. It doesn't make a difference.
I understand they use that to promote the petition or whatever, but we can't verify that, so we do not think you should give them any money.
Yeah, if you want to give them money to support change.org, that's totally up to you. But if you think it's going to make the petition go to more people, I don't think that's true. So,
yeah, well, there's no way for us to verify it. So, all right, do you want to start at number 1 or 15 to? You want to go 15 to 1 or 1 to 15?
It doesn't really matter. I don't think one is like better storyline. I just think these are 15 numbered.
Okay, I'm going to start at 1. I'm going to start at 1 just because I have OCD. So
I don't like going backwards. You know, you scroll up. For
oh my God. Okay. I'm going to start at 15. Why don't you just start at 15 then, Brian?
Are you going to show them or are you just going to follow along?
I'm going to show them. Yeah.
Oh, I see. You're showing them. Okay. Start at 1 then. If you're going to show it, start at 1 because then it makes sense. I wasn't going to show them. I was just going to read them through and we're going to talk about it.
Okay. All right. Okay. Number 1. Jack Crusher as special counselor to Captain 7.
Okay, so as we all know, at the end of the show, Jack gets a special counselor position. Something, it's not Troy. It's like a totally new position. It's basically like an honorary position. They just created it, right. And it makes sense because the reasoning behind why they created this. We had Chris Monfett on. And he talked about, I'm like, hey, so what's up with this? Why not science officer? Why not? And the reason was when they do Star Trek Legacy, they don't want to handcuff Jack's character.
Right.
So if you put him in a specific role, then you're limiting how much screen time you can have, which tells you that they plan on using him a lot. Like he will probably be one of the main 3 characters,
right?
Obviously, of a new series. So I think that was part of it. So they can go forward and kind of explore, Jack's role on the ship. They can send him out to do, he's a rogue, right? He's what do you call it?
I really like that almost like respectful approach to like, we are planning on doing this. We're planning on doing more of this and we don't know what we're going to do with the character yet. So let's give him this sort of title that can go any way and just roll with it. I like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, I love how, because they didn't. Okay, so the crew, the guys who made this stuff, Terry and Chris and everybody
Matt.
who made the show, did not have permission to like prep for a new show.
No.
So they went and made the whole show, and they just kind of decided on their own. Look, we're gonna grease the skids for a new series. Had they probably had some oversight, they probably would have been told, hey, slow your roll on this, like setting up a new show thing.
Right. We got other things going on right now. Because Paramount's not happy right now about it. They're like, damn it. Petition,
right?
50K. We have other shows going on.
We've committed to other things, and look what you guys have done.
Right, dude.
And so kudos to them and more power to them. I mean, that's like a power play. They chose to make it so, that we could do more Star Trek, and they kind of handcuffed them a little bit and said, well, sorry, we wanted to make a really good story. And I got major mad respect for them for just going for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Huge kudos. So number one is exploring Jack Crusher's position as special counselor to Captain Seven. That's cool. But I think what we just told you was when Legacy happens, that position won't be his position. It won't matter.
Yeah.
So we'll debunk this.
Number 2, Dr. Agnes Girardi's Borg return.
No! No!
Okay, so at the end of season 2, of course, we know we've got the friendly Borg, the good Borg, who are from an alternate timeline, have broken through the timeline to our current timeline, and are now there protecting
a giant butthole
from the main Borg to come in. Now we've got a problem.
Are they protecting from the main Borg?
That's what the butthole was for, right?
No, they didn't. They didn't tell you what the butthole was. People assume.
Oh, we didn't know who was coming.
No one knows.
Yet another problem from Picard season 2. Let's end an entire season not knowing what's coming through the butthole.
Yes, I'm so angry about this because we heard from sources that they were gonna have the real Borg come through the butthole and just smash Girardi's Borg ship into a billion pieces and continue on as if nothing happened to sort of tie up that loose end.
To end the loose end. That would have ended the whole.
That would have ended the whole point of Picard season 2. So, like this giant Borg, like remember the Borg ship was massive, right? I don't care how big Girardi's Borg ship was. This ship was like huge. It was gonna come through the butthole, the transwarp butthole, and literally just not even engage, just smash through Jaborgi's ship into a billion pieces and then continue on its merry way as if it hit a speed bump.
That didn't work out.
They didn't do that. But oh my God, I would have been.
They didn't have the time or the money to do it.
Yeah, it's so expensive. But I would have been so thrilled. It could have fixed part of season 2, and we wouldn't be now tied. And then it would have also fixed the problem with Picard season 3. If you ignore Picard season 1 and 2, then in season 3 is nearly flawless. But because of Picard seasons 1 and 2, there are things where you have to ask, why didn't they contact Jaborgi? Where is that Borg? Even with Todd Stashwick saying, forget that weird shit out there, the real. Even like the character literally says, forget whatever happened last season. This is the important stuff. But you got to ask yourself, where are they? I mean, I can ignore season 2 and enjoy it, but I have to ask myself canonically, okay, so why not reach out to them? And I know the real reason. They don't want anything to do with that season. But
he did say that she's on the other side of the galaxy somewhere. That's what Terry said. Right? She's off on the other side of the galaxy somewhere protecting the transwarp conduit.
Right. But the other side of the galaxy, it was really close to Federation space in season 2. Just so you guys know.
Well, I'm just saying that's what he said. So he must have moved her.
Remember, it was a threat to Earth. It was a threat to Earth in season 2, right?
What was it, a threat to Earth, or was it just a threat to
she had to
Federation?
network all the Federation ships to stop the.
That's true. Yeah.
No, it was definitely a threat. So he moved her because he doesn't want to deal with her, and they didn't have the money to tie it up. And so, but it makes it really it introduces a flaw into my beloved season 3.
I don't think it introduces a flaw because he said that she was off protecting the transwarp conduit. For whatever reason, they could not engage what was happening.
Who said?
So Terry.
I know, but it's not in the show. We know that, but it's not in the show.
I know, but there's certain things you can't address everything in the show. Why didn't, there's all kinds of alien races. Where were the Klingons? Why didn't, nobody else showed up to support the Federation in this thing? Should we be asking those questions?
Well, it happened. So it happened. We already established that it happened very quickly, right? In a span
right.
of.
So Girardi might not have been close enough. Yeah, maybe it's, supporting Federation space. They may not have been able to get back fast enough from wherever they were.
Okay, so.
If the Klingons can't get there, who are on the edge of Federation space.
Well, I mean, they didn't reach out to Klingons, though, right?
But maybe they should. I guess they probably should have. Why did
probably
they do that? It ruined season 3.
Yeah, I know that's not the case at all. Why would they reach out to the Klingons to deal with a Borg?
Why didn't they reach out to their allies? The Borg is bad for everybody, not just for the Federation.
The Starfleet's not doing it. It would be John Luke and his merry men of rogues going to the Empire to try to deal with it. But this is different.
Jaborgi's not Starfleet.
Right, this would be different. He actually has a relationship with Jaborgi, and she's Borg. So I get what you're saying, but let's say I was a casual viewer, and I'm watching.
I mean, Worf is hanging out. He could have called the Klingon Empire and been like, "What up?"
I get what you're trying to do, but it's not working.
I get what you're trying to do. You're trying to make it fit. I don't think you need to just because Jaborgi's out there does not mean she has to be the hero of season 3.
No. But maybe a line in the show explaining that the character that was introduced surprisingly at the end of season 2, who was also Borg, a line in the show, not a line from Terry on Twitter, a line in the show. As a casual viewer watching seasons 1, 2, and 3.
Todd gave that line. Captain Shaw gave that line.
Yeah, but.
And I'm not talking about that stupid shit that happened over there. So, I mean, him saying that completely said basically that's pointless. Don't even think about that. You know what I'm saying? So I think that, I mean, they obviously aren't going to be like, oh my God, we can't call the Jaborgi because they are way over here doing this. Unfortunately, shucks.
Well, but what if Seven's like, Admiral, what about Girardi? And Admiral can say, we've lost contact with her weeks ago.
I have so much respect. That they didn't give more than a second of that bullshit from season 2.
No, I know.
I have so much respect. I don't want
agree
them.
With you.
Why don't, it's for the same reason they don't ever need to say that Michael Burnham is Spock's brother. Ever again.
No, you're right.
I don't care if it's canon. I don't need them to bring it up again.
You're completely
So don't
correct.
even bring up Jaborgi. Don't even bring her up.
So you're completely
she's
correct.
Out there somewhere.
But as a casual viewer, when I finish season 2 and I boot up season 3, it's going to be a confusing point of contention.
Well, you shouldn't have watched seasons 1 and 2.
Even
Patrick Stewart himself said, this is recently came out. Okay, if you guys weren't aware of this, Patrick Stewart even said, perhaps we should have done it this way from the beginning.
Oh, yeah. No shit, bud. Okay, come on. All right.
So even he realizes the mistake that was made. Listen, let's just let Picard season. And I understand there might be some people who love Picard seasons 1 and 2. And if you did, no problem. I'm sure you didn't go into season 3 going, well, maybe you did. Go into season 3 going, I got to see more of that Jaborgi. I mean, maybe. No, there are people who wanted to see that.
There are people that love Jaborgi. I don't get it, but there are people that they draw them, and there's fan fiction and stuff. It's crazy.
Well, I mean, think about it. It's like a totally different type of Borg, but you can argue the merits of whether or not the Borg should be good guys. It's kind of weird. Remember, we were like, oh, okay, the Borg's good now. All we know is that the Borg, as we know it, are destroyed. Right? So the Queen's dead, and as we know it, and they've confirmed it. Terry and his team confirmed it. The Borg are gone. That was it. Borg are done. But you're right. Canonically, you've got these good Borg out there. So anything's possible.
Okay.
We've spent too much time on this one.
Yeah, we really did. Moving on to number 3. Wesley Crusher can meet Jack Crusher. No! 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 No, 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 no. No.
You gotta be more specific than that.
No.
Yeah, listen, Wesley had his time in season 2.
They ruined the character when they made him a traveler. Period.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind Wesley meeting Jack as a traveler, but knowing he's what they've turned him into and that alien, I'm just so frustrated that they ruined the whole TOS, alien race and made him the travelers. I don't know why they had to do that. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about respecting canon. Like, you don't just lop onto something that was so cool,
right,
that could have had its own story and then just make it pointless. Like mushing the travelers and
it literally ruined
7
it. It ruined a piece of my soul. Gary 7 was a ridiculously cool character. Such a cool character, I might add, that episode was actually a backdoor pilot to another show that didn't happen. Right. Let me tell you something. They could have made this race. This could have been a cool, almost. It could have been a throwback to the very original. They could have weaving them through history. It could have been something really fantastic to turn them into those weird. Do you want candy from my van? Traveler race was the absolute worst decision you could have made. You took a possibility, right? You have this possibility. It can be anything. You can mold it into something that's subpar or good or great, right? Whatever. You can make that Gary 7's character better. You can make him a villain. You can go so many ways. But you took that and you did the absolute worst possible thing you could have done.
Well, it's sad because they did it just so that Will Wheaton could have a role in season 2. They could have just had him show up as the traveler and take Soji away. It wasn't even Soji. It was
the Doge. No. It was the clone. Whatever. It got really confusing.
It was the clone's
They were using that's not season 2 used a lot of the same actors. So
they had them under contract.
I know, but it's confusing. It really is confusing.
So they could have had him show up as a traveler and just pick her up and make her a traveler. It would have been no problem. But forcing him to be one of the Gary 7 aliens was just a waste of canon, like a waste of an opportunity. It just shows such a frivolous care for the stories that can be built later. One of the things you can say about Terry is him not addressing the Jurati Borg thing does allow some other creator to do something with it later. Like he didn't crush it necessarily. Now they just ruined the Gary 7 alien civilization by making them travelers, which makes absolutely zero sense, by the way.
Makes zero sense.
Because if you go back to TNG and the traveler showed up, did he show up? Was the little doorway there? No. Did he come in and go by that means? It really was disappointing and very,
it's clearly not what they intended for that character. When they introduced the traveler, they did not. At no point did they ever even it didn't even cross their mind that he was the same race as Gary 7's character. It
was a throwaway. It was pointless. It was like a
episodic. Yeah,
they could have just had him show up as the traveler, and you get your Will Wheaton, you get your Wesley Crusher sighting, but they had to let's connect him to this story somehow, and make him a watcher, and you're just like. Why did you do that? That's when you wish there was one person in the writer's room, one person to sit there and go, please, God, no, please don't do that.
Please don't do that. No,
don't ruin this for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. Please, Akiva, don't do this. Okay. One person. I mean, these poor writers have to go on strike to try to make enough money. Do you think they're going to stand up in the writer's room and say, no, you can't do that? Give me a break.
And that's like a lot of people are putting a lot of heat on the writers. Dude, you guys don't get it. Like these people are just like us. They're trying to work their craft, their job that they've been wanting to do their entire lives. They're trying to be the best. They're trying to work their way up the ranks so that they have the power to actually write what they want to write. And you think they're going to be able to stand up against Akiva Goldsman or Alex Kurtzman and say, no, that's not going to work. No, because they'll be fired. The next day they'll come in, their badge has been demagnetized and their stuff's on the curb. Like they
you're right.
So it takes someone that is a showrunner that also loves the material, that also then has writers that also love material. It takes both. Just
even
the
takes
writers.
Kids Glove, but even takes Kids Glove from their parts. Even like if Terry comes in and says, like, hey, Akiva, let's not do that. Like there's a ranking order. Like there's a hierarchy of rank structure in there. Like Alex Kurtzman number 1, Akiva Goldsman number 2.
Right.
That's how the rank structure in Star Trek works.
Well, yeah, and so
right
that's what makes Terry so special. He's able to navigate those.
He can navigate. Yeah, he can politically. Hey, that's not really a very good idea. Let me tell you what a better idea would be. Like you could do that if you want. Like you can do that, but imagine if you said, look, you can do something. We can do the Gary 7. This was a whole thing with these Watchers. Like you've created this great thing. If you attach them to the Travelers, it's done. Right. It's over because we already have defined what the Travelers are. We have not defined what the Watchers are. Right. And the moment you combine the Travelers to the Gary 7 Watchers, you have now defined that alien race, and there's nothing else you can do with it. Because what do we know about the Travelers? Right? They don't ever run into anybody. Right? They're very nobody can see, nobody can visit them. There's no interaction. They're very xenophobic. Right?
You mean the Watchers?
And no, also the Travelers too. Right?
Oh yeah. I guess we don't know that about the Travelers though. The only Traveler
we learned a little bit in that episode.
Yeah, we did, but I didn't know the Travelers were actually some secret organization. It just felt like I don't know,
there are similarities. I understand why they did it. They're like, oh, the Travelers are kind of secretive, and these Gary 7 people are kind of secretive. But, you just made the universe smaller by doing that. That's what
right. Well, bottom line is, you had the opportunity to do something with this character that most Star Trek fans for 50 years have been waiting to know more about. And you just combine them with a character they already knew.
That's what you did.
That's why it's the worst decision. It's not the worst decision because you wrote them poorly. I would have taken anything over that because any actual story, even if it was bad, would have been better than just combining them with a character that already existed.
Yep.
All right.
Let's keep going.
All right. So that's number 3.
Because there's 15 of these.
I know. I'm sorry, guys. This might be a long
number
one.
4.
Number 4. Star Trek Deep Space Nine follow-up. Yeah. I'm down with this. Of course.
Well, we already know that this was a follow-up. Picard season 3 was, what happened after the Dominion War. We got the changelings. We got, we got a lot of DS9 stuff. We got post-Worf. What else could we do? Could they go and explore what's up with the Bajorans? Sure. Could they go and explore what's up with Sisko's family? You got Jake Sisko. You could bring him back into Star Trek Legacy. Sarek Lofton's not doing anything. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you could definitely continue that story. I don't know if you want to. I mean, could you imagine going back to DS9, and seeing what's happened all these years later? That'd be kind of cool.
Dude, a friend of ours on Twitter is making these I'll show you guys. They're making these mock-ups of Star Trek Legacy, and it's really quite clever. So he makes the mock-ups in order to fool his wife or something. And he'll create them in Photoshop, and then he'll put them on TV as if it's a pause frame on Netflix or Hulu or something.
He's messing with his wife.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And he tagged us. I'm trying to find it. He tagged us in the first one. He was like, oh, here we go. All right. So he tagged us, and he was like, and someone says, "Hey, can you now you just need to can you create the rest of the show in this way?" And I responded with, All right, that's one frame down. You have 28,998 left to go for a 60-minute movie. And he responded with this. And I'll show you what he looks like. He goes, okay, Pop guys, 2 frames done. 28,798 more to go. And here's the frames. Like, so he's using like, it looks like Prime. It looks like he's paused it. So it's on the TV. It looks like it's been paused on Prime. So his wife comes in and she sees this, like 7 9 talking to Kira.
That's messed up.
Bro, like imagine you came in, it was paused and it said Star Trek Legacy Season 1, Episode 3, and they're at Deep Space Nine. Like, I would lose my crap.
I need video footage of her response.
Oh my God. That's
fantastic.
That's really funny. So that credit goes to, I guess his name is just Will. This guy. He's a really awesome dude.
Yeah, he's been some good stuff on Twitter.
Yeah, so check him out. All right, so back to this. I just thought it was funny. Like, this guy is making all 28,000 frames of Star Trek Legacy.
Keep going. Keep making this story.
All right, number 5. Star Trek Voyager follow-up. Yeah. Got some news on that.
I mean, go ahead.
Got some news on that.
All right, let's hear it.
Harry Kim, a.k.a. Garrett Wang. I guess I should say Garrett Wang, a.k.a. Harry Kim, right?
Depends on how you want to remember him.
Whatever. I'm going to say Harry Kim, played by Garrett Wang, actually was going to be in Picard Season 3.
Yes, that's right.
And they said, no, you belong to Prodigy.
No, wait, really?
Yep.
No, Garrett?
He complained about it. He's like, no, apparently the Harry Kim character belongs to Prodigy, which is why we didn't see him and probably why we didn't see Janeway.
I didn't hear that. I heard something different.
Oh, what did you hear? I just read this yesterday.
Well, it's I see. It doesn't actually belong to it. They have dibs on it. So it's not that he belongs to Prodigy. They didn't want to use any of the Voyager characters, apparently, I guess, except Tuvok.
Well, that was his words. He says, apparently the character belongs to Prodigy.
I'm going to go ahead and say that might have been the excuse he was given. Because what I would have said if I was him, I would have been like, if I was Garrett, I'd been like, okay, so Tim Russ is on why?
Right.
Because he's a Voyager character.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, if they said, oh no, the Voyager characters belong to Prodigy, and then you follow up and there's 7 of 9 talking to Tuvok. Hey, yeah. I got some questions. Yeah.
My guess is that this was the thing going around when you didn't get invited. So it was probably like, can I get on Picard Season 3? Oh, you know what? We wanted to bring you on, but I'm pretty sure Prodigy owns you guys. You know, that's the whole thing with Janeway is that the reason they didn't bring her in is because A, it was going to cost a lot of money to bring her in, and right. B, she was already doing Prodigy, and there was that confusion. So they just didn't do it.
Yeah,
it would have been too much of a battle.
Yeah. So here's the actual interview, just real quick. He says, Wang said he was supposed to have a 3-episode arc in Picard, but Harry Kim's character belongs to Prodigy, and that's why it didn't happen.
I don't know if it belongs to Prodigy.
And you scroll
I mean,
down,
unless they're maybe they're bringing him in Season 2. Maybe they're bringing him Season 2 of Prodigy, and we don't know it.
I don't know. You know what would have been really funny? Like, straight up. Imagine this. Instead of Harry Kim being Captain Harry Kim, he was still Ensign.
I am. Yeah. I know you say that pretty frequently.
No, but think about this. You meet him, right? And let's say he's actually a captain. You meet him, though, and the turbolift doors open and his pips fall off. And it's just the one. He's like, oh.
It'd be funny. They should do that for Lower Decks. So that would be the Lower Decks joke. If his character ever went there.
I would literally cheer.
You couldn't do it on a live action
I guess you're right. Okay. Moving on. Number 6.
Too silly. No, I'm not finished with 5.
Oh, you're not? Okay.
I didn't even get a chance to talk, but that's cool.
I'm sorry, bro.
Let's move on to 6.
My bad.
Listen, I wanted to say this is important. This is one of the important ones because Star Trek Legacy will be a Voyager follow-up, in my opinion. So I think what you're going to get is coming up is depending on what happens with the writer's strike, but I'm pretty sure this is what they would like to do. I think they want to do a limited series with Janeway and with 7 of 9. And I think that's going to be your... Now, what is 7 of 9 doing? She's the captain of the Enterprise G.
Right.
What is Janeway doing? She's an admiral. The story for a miniseries would take place in the 25th century, which is where we want to do Legacy Star Trek. So I feel like you're going to get a Voyager follow-up in Star Trek Legacy because this is the natural place where it's going to go. So that was my point.
I agree. Why not? And throw some DS9 in there for fun. All right, more.
We got more DS9 than Voyager.
That's true. That's true.
Picard season 3.
Throw a little bit of DS9 in there, because I would like to see like Sisko's kid.
I'd like to see Quark again too,
and I'd like to see Quark. Yeah, and you know what? Just even if it's just in passing, I want to see that big alien Mort, or whatever his name is.
Who?
The guy always. It was always at Worf's bar.
Oh, Quark's brother.
No, the alien Mort. I don't remember his name. Looks like a blob. It doesn't matter.
Oh yeah.
Number 6. More TNG kids join Star Trek Legacy. No, I'm good.
No, we don't need more. Yeah. So I mean, listen. A lot of people were upset when after season 2, Isa Briones and some of the other characters didn't get a chance to come back for Picard season 3. The reality is they just couldn't afford to pay all the TNG actors, all the old TNG actors to come back and also renew the contract for the young people who were in seasons 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
So could they bring them back more in Legacy? I've heard that. I've heard like, well, yeah, they could continue those character stories. Now they could. Now, if they wanted to bring Brent Spiner back to play Data, the new Data, and also bring his daughter in, right? Soji. That might be interesting to see that dynamic, right?
I wouldn't mind if Soji joined Starfleet, at the urging of her father in some way after their connection. And, she's part of the crew with like Crash the Forge, She wasn't a bad character. She was just in a bad season.
She played like 2 different characters. That was the problem.
Yeah.
they shouldn't have had them play different characters.
That was
second
confusing.
season.
Yeah, Doji and or something like that, right? And
well, she had Doge and Soji. That was the first season. She played 2 characters. And then she played the clone in season 2. She was the ancestor.
That's right. Yeah, she played 3 characters. You know what you should never do, Shane?
Play 3 characters?
Confuse the crap out of your audience.
Yep.
And like, I've watched all these seasons multiple times, and you're right. The whole her character dying, the sister, it's just confusing. It's weird and it's confusing. They shouldn't have killed off Doge. They should have just made Doge the character the entire time. I don't. Why did they require 2 sisters? Why? There's no reason. Right. It was like,
well, they wanted the surprise, so they wanted to kill one. I get why they did it.
It wasn't surprising though.
Well, they killed one. I don't know. Maybe because of the trailer that they messed up there. I don't know. I get what they were going for. But if they're going to bring back more TNG kids, I want to see Alexander. Yes. That's the one requirement I have. Worf's son, I got to see Alexander. I want to see what happened. If you're going to have a Klingon, let that be the guy. And let's find out what happened. If you want to bring back Elnor, I don't think it's necessary. We've got young people. And you don't want to have too many young people. We don't want the cast to be too big.
It's confirmed Elnor died on the Excelsior, though.
He didn't die.
Damn it. Why not?
Yeah, he didn't die.
But he was on the Excelsior, and they exploded.
There was an explanation. There was an explanation after this. Apparently, he was not on that ship.
Fascinating. How convenient. Well, so what if we see a Star Trek Legacy with Captain 7, Jack, LaForge, Alexander, and Soji?
That would be enough.
That would be more than enough, right?
Yeah.
More than enough. Okay. I'd be down for that. I'd be
okay with it.
That would literally
Depending
be
on how they use it.
The next generation of the next generation. I'll take that. And to be fair, I love the first LaForge sister. I'm forgetting her name. She's awesome. Sydney LaForge. Sydney LaForge is awesome. The actress is great. She plays it great. Everything about that character is great.
Well, she got more screen time. She got more things to do. We didn't really get to see a lot with
That's true.
LeVar Burton, with Mika Burton. She didn't get to do a lot.
That's true.
So,
All right, moving on. Number 7, legacy guest stars.
So I think this is a requirement. Like,
Yeah.
if you're going to do Star Trek Legacy, you got to have some bouncing in of some characters. We don't need anybody to be there maybe all the time. Although having, Admiral Riker, a main part of the show, I would really like that.
Yeah, a little bit of Worf, a little bit of Data.
I thought what was really interesting, Jonathan Frakes recently shared the fact that he hasn't been, they asked him if he wanted to act. He was on the Shuttlepod show, and they asked him if he wanted to act more. And he's like, yeah, I do. I've kind of wanted to act again. And he goes, but what's weird is, like, nobody's offered me anything.
Right.
Like, he's been told his performance was great, but nobody's offered him anything. That might have a lot to do with just projects and the writer's strike and everything else happening. But he would do good to pop in and out. Beverly would do good to pop in and out.
Yeah.
Data. If we don't get Geordi, I think I'd be okay with that.
I wouldn't mind a little bit of Geordi.
Probably would get.
Yeah. Why wouldn't we? He's the youngest one, right?
Well, he has daughters. So, but listen, Geordi's an engineer. Like, if he's not doing Geordi things, like,
yeah,
I need Geordi doing Geordi things. And that was the one thing I love that he was in Picard season 3.
Right.
But we didn't see him really do a whole lot.
Right. But Sydney of the Forge has to be a part of Star Trek Legacy.
100%. She should be there over him.
Right.
Obviously.
I think so.
It's the new generation.
But the fact that she's there, though, has a connection to her legendary father. There's no reason why they can't weave him in from time to time.
A very, very, very limited basis. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm more curious.
And that's not a knock, by the way. I love LeVar Burton. I think he's awesome.
No, absolutely not. He's wonderful. I just need him. If he's not going to be on the ship being an engineer, having him stand around just talking is not good enough.
Right.
It's not enough for me.
Yeah, you're right. Like, Worf is a warrior. If Worf wasn't doing warrior things, it'd be confusing.
It would be. It would be kind of a waste, I think.
Right.
We don't want him just on the show for his star power. We want him there adding to the story. That's the problem is with these Star Trek shows is when you don't have them there doing something important, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Like when Scotty comes back and he's on TNG all those years later, Jimmy Doohan, he was critical to that episode. He actually forwarded the episode, and it was an important episode. And for his characters. So I thought that was good.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite episodes. I just sneezed. I apologize.
Bless you.
When they find him in the Dyson sphere, not only did they bring a Dyson sphere to life on screen, an idea that's been around in sci-fi books since 1925. Then they also brought Scott back, Montgomery Scott back, and the way they brought him back was such a Montgomery Scott way. It was so clever. I loved every second of that episode. And it was like, oh, which engineer you like most? No, that episode showed how different they were and how their approaches were so
fantastic.
different. And it made you love them both equally. It's great. All right, moving on. Number 8, Starfleet. Life after Borg assimilation. No.
Yeah, so no. Yeah, you're right. Well, here's the thing is, like, move on. Like, it's been dealt with. They removed all the Borg genes. They processed everybody. There is no life after Borg assimilation, I don't think. Like, maybe the trauma. So that's the problem is if you go after this, now you're dealing with the trauma of being assimilated because so many young people were assimilated.
Right.
So it is a storyline, but how do you really want that? Do you want them to explore their feelings on that?
How much trauma would you have for the 3 hours you were assimilated?
I mean, you might have. I mean, look when you look at Locutus, like, so to say there's no, but we've already told that story. Like, we've experienced the Starfleet, like what it's like to have to deal with life after being assimilated. Like, do we need to keep telling that story? I don't think so.
I agree. All right. Moving on. Number 10, the Enterprise G needs a new science officer.
What that's 9, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, Lieutenant Tavine did really good. Stephanie Chajowski, I don't know how to pronounce her last name. She was killed during Picard season 3, and she did a good job. But who said that the Enterprise G needs a new science officer and they don't already have one? So I'm sure when Seven took over command and they did a refit, it was already assigned a new science officer.
Right.
So you're going to see a new bridge crew officer. Does that bridge crew officer need to be someone important, integral to the crew? Probably. So could that be Soji? Could that be your new?
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. I didn't mind Soji. I didn't like the way it was written, but I think the actress is good. I think she did a good job. I think the idea of that. No, actually, I don't think the idea of that. Actually, the character doesn't make any lot of sense. Like they cloned her out of like a. Nah, that's just.
I like having a Vulcan as a part of.
Yeah, I would rather have a Vulcan,
a Starfleet vessel,
instead of, because like Soji is going to bring up the sort of like, excuse me, but the stink, I guess, of season 1 and how it doesn't make sense how they created her out of like a single positronic engram or whatever. That never made sense to me.
Yeah. Right. I think it's best to probably just let that go.
I do like the character. I like the idea of like Data's daughter on the Enterprise, but the way she came to be is just so weird to me.
Right.
Number 10 is Alondra LaForge, the Enterprise G's new chief engineer.
Good point.
That'd be
possible. Why not?
Why can't two sisters serve on the same ship?
They can.
Yeah.
There was a time in the U.S. military where they used to break up siblings. They couldn't all serve together. After the Sullivan's ship went down in World War II. Like 4 brothers all on the same ship all died at the same time.
That's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not a bad idea. I'm down for that. That's cool.
It really depends on if Mika Burton can like pull it off. Like, to be the engineer, it comes with something. Like,
right.
You really have to, your personality has to come through. There has to be something. And that's the one thing we didn't get from this character, from Alondra. We don't really know who she is.
Right.
Like, I think Sydney overshadowed her. She really was kind of like a clone of her father, I think, in a way. And we didn't really get to see her break out. So if she does come back on the show and she is the chief engineer, what is she? Is she B'Elanna Torres, like frustratedly angry? Is she witty? Is she calm? I mean, what would she be?
Hemmer.
Just stop. Stop breaking my heart.
Sorry.
Bring him up.
So
it's like you use him like a dagger on me.
It's so
like,
upsetting.
Hammer.
All right.
It hurts.
Yeah, you got good points there. I don't know how she would come back. I assume that she would be, probably snarky. I guess it's a pretty common.
She didn't come across as snarky to me, though.
She didn't, but it's a pretty common thing to have sort of like a sort of fly by your seat kind of mentality as an engineer. It seems to be the case.
I mean, Geordi wasn't that way. He was just really smart. Like, the thing about Geordi was you knew like he was going to figure it out.
That's true.
And I would be okay with her being like that as opposed to trying to be something she's not.
Yeah. When he was with Montgomery Scott. No, you're doing it all wrong, laddie. You don't tell him exactly how long it's going to take. You give him like...
That was my favorite.
Tell him it's going to take double the time. When you get it done sooner, you're the hero. He goes, why would I do that?
That was so great. That's one of my favorite scenes.
So good. All right, number 11. And this is
a must.
This is a must. How will Liam Shaw be resurrected? I like how they're not saying, will he be resurrected? What can we do with that? They're just saying how. Because everyone is on the same page here. Like, you can't do a Star Trek Legacy show if you don't bring back this character in some form or fashion.
I mean, everybody wants him. Terry, the cast, the crew, the studio. I mean, everybody knows, like, this guy's got to come back somehow.
Right.
If they do it, we actually have a video coming out if I ever give it to Brian, if I ever finish writing it and give it to him.
Shane's been writing this. Guys, Shane's been writing this video for almost 2 weeks. He is so dedicated to bringing you guys the best content. How many drafts are you on now? 8 drafts?
That's not exactly true. Yeah, I've been a little
9 drafts. How many drafts?
I would never write that many drafts.
All I'm saying is we're making
maybe.
a video about how the many ways you can bring back Captain Shaw. It's going to be called what's it called again?
No, we're not sharing that yet.
Oh, okay. We'll share it in the member section.
Yeah, we'll share it in the member section
Okay.
and the reason why is because it's still a secret.
Okay, we'll share it in the member section, but it's a really cool title. I love it.
It's a really cool title. It's like the best video title we've ever had.
Yeah, it really is.
But so yeah, how can they bring him back? Well, you know how I want to see it. I want to see him emergency
engineer hologram, which means you
hologram.
couldn't have Mika Burton as the chief engineer then.
You could just have him not be the chief engineer.
Oh, I guess you could, yeah. But
yeah,
you see,
you could.
What everyone wants to see though is the chief engineer die and then the EEH have to take over like in Voyager.
Oh yeah, so you don't want her to be the
yeah.
You
don't want to be Mika
just
Burton.
bring him back because the dichot. Yes, so what we want to see is him having Shaw's memories, right?
Right.
We want that so that way he can be like, I used to be the captain of this ship,
right?
And now I'm the engineer. You know what I mean? So we want to have that sarcastic.
He puts his hand through something. He's like, oh damn it!
I can already picture it, and I love it. I haven't even seen it yet.
Yeah, I mean, but you can also. I mean, there's other ways to bring him back, mind you. And I'm gonna be really clear. People saying the Borg nanoprobes, that's not a bad idea, and I'll tell you why. If you don't see a character literally die on screen, then are they dead? Are they really dead? And what was the last scene? We saw last scene was this scene actually. Was Seven with her Borg nanites in her Borg hand holding Captain Shaw, and she was going to stay on the ship. Why? To stay with Shaw. Shaw wasn't dead yet then.
Yeah, but the end scene where he reads her thing, he's dead.
That's what we are supposed to know at that moment.
I mean, I guess they could, you know what? If they shipped him off to Daystrom Station and figured something out, then okay.
What if she injected
Go ahead.
What if she injected nanoprobes into him? He's now in a coma, and they ship him to Daystrom Station.
Okay, I'll accept that.
Because I mean, let's be. They didn't show him dying. They didn't show him dying,
and he died.
And Seven and Rafi stayed behind to stay with Shaw on the ship.
But he died, literally.
But they didn't show it.
He said, "You're the captain now."
But they didn't show him dying. No, they didn't show him dying.
I thought they did.
No, it's not a definitive death. I'm sorry, it's not.
Okay. Not. Brian's headcanon is taking over here, I think.
By the way, I like how this article says, will he be an emergency hologram? Like, we literally said this first.
It's definitely our idea. I'm sorry.
And it's 100% our idea. We said this 10 weeks ago. Hey,
in our heads, and two people who we could safely say it to in December, we were saying he needs to come back as a hologram.
Screen Rant, if you're watching, that's cool, man. Just like give us a credit, bro.
Give some credit here. The guys over the podcast came up with this idea.
All right, moving on to number 12.
So I'm willing to go with a will they, won't they?
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
Never let them actually connect.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
You got to be careful with relationships in Star Trek. Mm-hmm. Because professionalism needs to come first, always. Now, obviously, there's been lots of relationships. Riker and Deanna had a relationship. Worf and Deanna had a relationship. Picard and Crusher. So you can have it, but it needs to be. They can't spend a whole lot of time on it. It needs to be treated like it was treated in TNG, where you got like a moment where you've got a thing, like an episode, a scene. But it can't take over the whole ship. Like, it can't take over whole episodes where it's like, oh, we got to deal with Jack and Sydney's, relationship problems for this whole episode. As long as they don't go too far with it, then I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's okay if it's a will they, won't they. If it's a Picard Beverly, if it's a Jack O'Neill, Amanda Tapping, what's her name? The character in the show.
That's rough. It's your
can't believe I'm forgetting her name right now.
Samantha.
Samantha Carter, O'Neill. Like, you gotta do this thing where you play around it. You could tell they're into each other, whatever, but you never actually connect them. The second you connect them, What is the common TV trope, Shane?
Yeah, 7 seasons and a wedding.
7 seasons and a wedding. When that happens, that means the writers have literally ran out of things to do, and they're just giving up and giving the audience what they think they want, and that almost always spells the end of a series. So if you do that, that's cool, but do it in Star Trek Legacy season 7, please.
Fair enough.
Number 13. No.
Let me clarify that. Okay. So here's the thing. Okay. Regardless of whether or not you feel like it is okay or not okay that they're in a relationship is really a moot point. Okay. At the end of Picard season 1, you see them holding hands at the very final episode, final scene. You see them holding hands at the end of the show.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we didn't get any build up to that. It's totally unearned in the fact where there should have been some sort of flirtation happening, some sort of something giving us an idea that this was coming, instead of having this whacked, they're holding hands suddenly. It felt like it was pandering to the LGBTQ community. I really feel like it was, I mean, if I'm LGBTQ, you know, maybe I'm like, oh, cool, I got another relationship here that I can associate with and that makes me recognize myself. But let me ask you a question. Did it feel earned?
No.
Like, did anything happen in the whole season that made you believe that these guys were going to be together? Let's answer a few other questions. Well, 7 of 9 was heterosexual. Certainly through Voyager.
Right. I mean, I guess that can change, but talk about a drastic change.
Maybe it can change. Maybe she was hiding her real true emotions the whole time, but there was no character development to get us there. And then you put us into season 2, where now all of a sudden they're full-fledged. And the way the story came about was just so silly. I mean, you know, the fact that they're at like a party and everybody's drunk and they're like pretending to be like lipstick lesbians. And then somebody's like, oh my God, we're going to write this into the show. I mean, it's just so weak.
Clarify, Shane, because that's exactly what happened.
No, that's what happened. So that's how they got wrote into the story.
It's the definition of not earned. It's literally was like, let's just throw this in because it's fun.
Well, it's okay. So they were at a party and they were having fun, and the writers all said, oh my God, this would be so great for the show. You know, listen, a whole lot of LGBTQ people in that, you know, creating these products. So I get it. You know, they're letting their hair down. They're doing their thing. The problem was they didn't stop for a second and go, well, wait a second. Does this make any sense? Like this is a process of just checking boxes. That's what they were doing. They were like, hey, let's get our lesbian couple in here.
And it's the worst kind. Right? It was like haphazardly checking boxes. It wasn't even.
But here's the other problem. Rafi was married with a kid. Now, let me ask you, LGBTQ people out there. I know a whole lot of LGBTQ people. I got members in my family. Okay. And I'll tell you right now, is it routine for a lesbian or gay people to have heterosexual relationships? Now, maybe in the 70s and 80s when you couldn't have a gay relationship, open gay relationship. So in the future, would they have had all these heterosexual relationships and then eventually decided they were gay?
Right. Yeah. Not for a couple years, for like 30 years.
For their entire lives.
Yeah.
Right. And then all of a sudden have this happen. So let me ask you a question. Is that realistic? So if you're sitting down as a writer, so this means you're checking a box. Okay. If there had been some sort of build up to this, then maybe it would be believable. Maybe there would be a reason, a story, but there wasn't.
It wasn't.
So what Terry and his crew did is they said, look, you know, we're just going to move on with the story. We're going to be professional. They addressed the relationship. Worf had some funny quips about it. And then it was over. Okay. When we got to the final thing here, Rafi and Seven are working together, but there's no holding hands. There's no wink and a nod. There's no lingering hugs and kisses. It's first officer and captain on the bridge.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you're part of the LGBTQ community and you're upset about this, just go back to what we said before. Was it earned?
Right.
Do you need that check in the box so badly that it can be poorly written and you're okay with it? And then let me ask you this. If you're a true Star Trek fan, I don't believe that's what you want, no matter what your sexuality is.
Yeah.
Because you want a good story and something that's, you know, something that was earned.
Right. Of course. So, yeah. That's really well said, Shane.
Thanks, brother.
Listen, and Rafi's character I didn't like in seasons 1 and 2, but I'm on record saying I hated this character in the first 2 seasons. I liked the character a lot in season 3. I believe that it wasn't Hurd's fault. What's her name? Something Hurd.
Michelle Hurd.
Michelle Hurd. Wasn't Michelle Hurd's fault for the character. It was the writing. She's actually a pretty damn good actress. And when she got good writing and when she got better writing in season 3, she brought it home. And I think it was great. The character was good. Now, I don't, because of that lingering problematic theme, story-wise, not in any other way, I almost wish she wasn't on the bridge. I like the character now, but I know that if she is in Star Trek Legacy, this is going to be like something Twitter's talking about nonstop. It's going to be something it's going to be a sticking point for everyone. Like, why aren't you addressing it? Why isn't this happening? And there's only so many of us reasonable people that are like, why are we even talking about it?
I think it would probably be addressed. I mean, like if you did Legacy, they addressed it in Picard season 3. They could address it and just be like, it was a thing. It happened, and let's move on. Like that. Let's address it that way. Like, let's say you have Seven and Rafi at the beginning of Star Trek Legacy, whatever we end up doing, where she's in the ready room and they're both in the ready room. They kind of look at each other and said, listen, I'll always love you, but we got a job to do here, and Starfleet has to come first. Like if they dealt with it like that, and then they just kind of moved on, then I think that would be the best way to handle it. And then just never address it again. And listen, if you feel like you want to have, I personally don't really care if there is sexuality in Star Trek. It's never been a big part of it. I wasn't like, oh my God, give me more Riker and Deanna scenes. I didn't care. I mean, I'm like, okay, quickly get this over with so we can get back to the science that's at hand.
I'll be honest though, as a young man, I was like, more scenes of Riker going to Deanna's quarters, please.
That's a different thing, though.
Give
that's
me
not
as
story.
many
That's,
scenes as you can give
that's
me. That's
horniness. That's young man being horny.
It's true.
Not I'm enjoying a Star Trek show.
It's true. No.
Because of the story.
# green grannies. Get it?
So, yeah. So, I mean, what I'm saying is I'm okay with if we don't have a whole bunch of sexual tension in any Star Trek series. But if you're going to have it, then just make sure in some way it's earned.
Okay, that's fair. We do have a super chat here that I'm actually waiting to the end of this story to address super chats, but I have to address
2 more
now because it's just too important to this this story. From Michael Nemo. To answer your question, I'm bi. Anything goes. Now, I did have a gay friend that hooked up with a woman one time out of the blue, and it shocked us. He told me after midnight, a hole is a hole. Jesus Christ.
Wait, I can't read it, so you have to read it.
That's what he said.
I can't see it.
After midnight, a hole is a hole.
Oh, a hole is a hole. I didn't hear you. I didn't understand.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, listen, I get that. Listen, I've been in many bars over my years where, listen, the 2:00 goggles come on. Now, and not as a bisexual, because I'm not bisexual. I mean, it was always a lady, but it may not have been the most attractive lady at the end of the night in the bar. So I get what Michael's saying there. It could be anybody. And, these characters, maybe they are bisexual. The thing is we just don't have any information that tells us that. So, and honestly, sexuality is so complicated anyways that, for my age,
listen,
old brain,
I'm a little bi, but I don't like the way men look.
Wait, I'm sorry.
I'm a little bisexual, but I don't think men are attractive.
How can you be bisexual if you don't think men are attractive?
I'm a little, just a.
So you think they're a little attractive?
I mean, parts of them, like Jason Momoa.
Okay, so
would I leave my wife for Jason Momoa? I'm not saying I wouldn't.
You're so full of it.
Like certain men.
Yeah. There are attractive dudes. That's just the way it is.
What do you want?
Listen, I'm going to leave that for you guys to just think about what Brian just said.
I've been married for almost 20 years, just to be clear, to a woman. So
you've been my brother my whole life, and I still yet to understand you completely.
I would 100% hang out with Jason Momoa and watch Star Trek.
Okay, that's not bisexual, though. I'm sorry.
naked.
You might be uncomfortable for him when he's like, why is this dude still looking at me?
Totally naked.
But naked, you do it naked.
And sitting in a baby pool of oil.
Just stop and move on, please.
Feeding him whipped cream.
Feeding him grapes.
no, whipped cream is better than grapes. Like, I'm cool, man.
For him or you?
I don't need any more of this. I'm like, take some more, Jason. Take some more.
Oh gosh.
Okay, moving on.
We
Sorry,
need to get you a counselor for sure.
All right, next one.
Thanks for the super chat, Michael.
Thank you, Michael. I appreciate it, man. And I thank you for your honest insight.
Yes.
I always thought, I was like, if anyone watching this show is like maybe like hard left or like really LGBT, they might not like us because we're honest about everything, and some people in those camps are really angry about honesty sometimes. So I'm glad you're here.
Or our perspective of honesty. It's our honesty,
Right.
Yeah.
Our truth.
I hate that word. I hate our truth
so much.
Because there is like the truth and not the truth, but when it comes to like opinions, it really is our opinion, my opinion, your opinion.
Well, yeah. So there's truth and there's true, right? So your truth is simply a reflection, or
I don't like that. Yeah.
or a refraction of what's actually true. That's a fact.
I say opinion, not truth.
I know,
my opinion.
but that's how you explain that statement. When you say your truth, you are simply referring to a reflection of the actual truth. Your reflection from your perspective.
An opinion. Like the words are too convoluted. Like it's very basic. Like my opinion about that fact is this.
I understand. I'm trying to explain when they say my truth. That's what they're referring to.
Okay, it just sounds.
It's like they're looking at the truth from their position and their lighting, and they're seeing it in a different way, a reflection of the truth. All right. Anyways.
Well said. Well said.
7 of 9, learning to be captain of the Enterprise.
I mean, that's the obvious storyline going forward.
I feel like that's going to be a given no matter what.
I mean, the reason they didn't give her I'm so glad they didn't give us I don't know why it's become a thing, like where the captain has a line and they've really highlighted what's their line. It's like a branding thing that Paramount and Star Trek has done.
It started recently. I went back to look the history of this phenomenon. And Trekkies have always been about it, but it didn't become focused on until Strange New Worlds, dude. That's when you started seeing articles about captains' catchphrases and all that nonsense.
So you're right. So Strange New Worlds, and what's really weird is Strange New Worlds came out and we got hit it, right, with Pike. And then all of a sudden in the next season of Discovery that came out, Michael Burnham needed to have her own captain's line.
Right.
So it was Strange New Worlds. It was Pike. You're right. It was a branding thing around that.
Do you guys remember what Captain Burnham's first word was? So I'll react it for you.
What was it? But that's not a word.
It was just her crying. Sorry.
I thought it was like, look out, Giorgio, because you're being stabbed in the back. Oh, wait. Sorry.
Please go. Okay.
Quickly, I'm going to start a war with the Klingons because I'm really angry at Starfleet.
I'm going to get hundreds of thousands of people killed because I don't like you. Because you offend me. Oh, my God. She's the worst.
Sorry. Could have done that better.
You know what's funny?
No disrespect to Sonuka Martin Green, but for real, like
it was a bad story, bro. First off, a Star Trek show should never focus solely on the first officer, and it should never focus on the first officer who's also a traitor. And then giving the reasons why she's a traitor aren't even honorable, like they're selfish, and then going for doubling down, tripling down, quadrupling down on her traitor's mentalities because she's selfish and thinks that she knows more than everyone else around her.
Well, this is
it's like the antithesis of what a Star Trek officer is, and then you give her a ship.
Yeah, this is supposed to be about 7 of 9. We always
sorry 7.
Back here.
I think it's obvious that she is learning to be captain. I feel like Owen from Screen Rant, bro, are you trying to like make sure you get 15? Because this is an obvious thing. But
well, I mean, but it is a storyline. Like that is, what's her captaining style going to be? I love it. Her Borg, like no nonsense sensibility in the captain's chair. I can't wait to see it.
Michael Nemo, super chat. Let's cry.
What?
That's her. So like you have like
Oh,
in it, right? You have whatever. Like hers is let's cry.
whose is it?
Michael Burnham. Let's
No,
cry.
Michael Burnham's is Let's Cry. Oh, yeah. Let's have him. Yeah, whatever. Let's Cry. That's a good one.
So I do believe that if 7 of 9's like engage word, whatever you want to call it, action word isn't execute, I'm gonna be very angry now.
It's not execute. It's comply. It'll be
No, it can't be comply.
Why?
No, because comply doesn't work. Execute is literally executing a command. It's the computer version of starting a program. Like you've written out the plan, now you need to execute that program and run it. How
about this?
Perfect.
The Vulcan system, comply.
Comply doesn't work though. It's like listen to me. It's not the same as execute.
Comply means do it.
Listen, all I need, I need it to be execute.
Execute also means do it. Did she ever use the word execute? I don't know.
But in computer language, executing a program or a command is literally running the thing. It would be like.
But is she a computer? I mean, I just don't understand. Like, okay, execute.
I might spend way too much time trying to find out every time she said the word execute to make you a compilation now.
I just don't lie. I mean, it's not rolling off my tongue good. I want something else. I want something more 70.
Comply sounds it's too.
You will comply.
It sounds too much like there's no emotion in it. It's very hard.
Okay.
And number 15, and I'm going to say last and certainly not least, because this is the one thing I care about.
This has to be addressed.
Yes. Q clearly has to be involved in some way with Jack. You need to continue the trial of humanity. The trial never ends. We started this back in episode 1, season 1 of TNG. There's no possible reason why it shouldn't be still going on. This is part of the game.
Well, and they gave it to us. It's canon, so they have to. It has to be addressed. And I don't know how much longer John Delancey can keep doing Q. He could probably keep doing it for a long time. He's in good health. He's in good shape. He has domination of the character. He's believable even in this, in Picard season 2. He would be just fine for another probably 5 or 10 years.
Yeah, easily. Yeah. And if you really need to continue the Q after that, I can tell you a million ways you can do that. So
you make it Q's son, you hire a new actor, and we've got continuation of canon from Voyager.
Hey, go get the exact actor from Voyager. Get that guy.
No, not necessarily. No, he was a kid.
Yeah, but
if he's a good actor,
if he's a good actor,
right,
he would be about the right age. Right? Yeah. He'd be like 48 years old. Be perfect.
He's got to be good. He's got to have the panache.
You're right,
John Delancey.
You're right. You're not wrong. All right. Well, that is the 15 legacy, Star Trek legacy stories that have already been set up. And out of those 15, only 5 of them, I believe, are reasonable. But you tell me what you think.
Yeah.
All right.
We'd love to hear what you guys think and which ones you liked. Let's do a couple of super chats. We got
Eddie from outer space.
My Trek journey.
Yeah, you read it.
Eddie from outer space for €5. Thank you, Eddie. Appreciate the support. My Trek journey started with Star Trek 09 when I was 13 years old. I enjoyed it at that time and tried the old series and fell in love. And I hate Star Trek 09 now. But I'm 28, by the way. That's great. You know why?
You know what? I got
Star Trek.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to interrupt you. That was a mistake. But I tell you this. You got to give it to 09 though. It got you in the door.
Right. Well, and you got to give it to Eddie because it's hard to go 09 and then go back and watch the old stuff and love it.
Right.
So the cool thing about 09, and listen, I'll admit it. I have no problem throwing 09 in when I'm just randomly sitting around because I enjoyed 09.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that movie. And the
Yeah.
reason why is because Chris Pine embodied Kirk's spirit to me. And Zachary Quito embodied Spock for me. And, Bones by Carl Urban. Those characters felt like the original characters, an alternate version of them. And I enjoyed that.
Yeah. It's also
But
outside of my Trek. It's like bonus Trek.
They
to me.
reset it. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like, I know it doesn't affect anything and I can just kind of sit and enjoy it.
Right.
But it is interesting that it took you back to watch the old Star Trek and then you fell in love with what really, I mean, what 09 is inspired by is what you love. And now you understand why it works, even though J.J. Abrams wasn't a Star Trek fan.
J.J. Abrams, the literal second they offered him Star Wars,
Weird.
He bailed on Paramount. He broke a contract to leave and not finish the Star Trek trilogy. And he tried to pawn it off on his production company instead. He's such a dick. It's crazy.
Well, yeah.
All right.
He was a Star Wars fan, so I get it.
Yeah, I get it.
How do you turn down Star Wars? Like if you're any director and like they're going to say, okay, listen, we're going to make Star Wars for the first time, not made by George Lucas, and we're going to offer it to you, J.J. Abrams, who, by the way, was like Kathleen Kennedy was like a super, super fan of J.J. Abrams. Like she found him when he was a kid and cultivated him. Of course, she was going to offer that to him. So,
what I would have done is I would have wanted my cake and I want to eat it too. I would have said, okay, Paramount, got to delay this movie about a year. I got an opportunity to do Star Wars. I'm going to go do it. You can continue on with someone else, but I would like to finish what I started. Delay it a year. I think Paramount would rather continue with the superstar that's now about to make Star Wars. It would only make their brand look even better when Star Wars comes out and it says J.J. Abrams, Star Trek trilogy. Come on.
It's in JJ's DNA. He doesn't finish things. So he was probably happy not to finish Star Trek, just like he was happy not to finish Star Wars. He got forced to come back to do the third movie after the second movie was completely ridiculous. So, he didn't want to come back and do it. You guys are slowly chipping away at Kyle's lead here, guys. You've taken it down by it looks like about half, almost half.
Yeah.
So you guys are chipping it away.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Half pretty much. Okay. All right. Let's next super chat here from Foxhound for $4.99. Does Jack still have the Jason Bourne John Wick ability? If so, away team leaders make sense. I don't think he does actually. Does he?
Well, did they say that?
Oh no, his fighting ability wasn't tied to his. It
was.
Was it?
Yeah, when his eyes turned red, he would like turn into Jason Bourne. So it obviously had something to do with the Borg element inside of him. The question is did they remove the Borg DNA from him? I'm assuming they did because they removed it from everybody else.
Well, but so everyone else was built in with the transporters. He was born that way.
That's true. Maybe they can't remove it.
That would be a really interesting thing to explore. Like, what if there's latent parts of that in him where he's like ultra perceptive or something because of it?
They almost have to keep that as a part of him, I think, moving forward. It's a part of his character. And unless they showed us a way that they could remove it, you're right. It's the way he was born. So you're right.
Plus, why would you want that? Why would you not want that as something in your writer's toolbox to play with?
It seemed like it was almost uncontrollable, though. Like he didn't always have complete control of it, did he?
So maybe he needs to learn how to
control it,
adjust it, and control it. Like this could be like the first real, minor, almost superhero in Star Trek, where it's not like a gimmick, and it's not OP.
It's already explained.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Real quick with this, thank you so much, Foxhound, for the support. Appreciate it. Our poll over here that we did an hour ago had 115 votes, and Best of Both Worlds 1 and 2 was voted as the best episode for Ed to study in coming into Picard season 3, which I agree. It's our Locutus ones. It ties mostly into the story, and I think you guys chose well.
Awesome. I mean, I agree with you guys. It's so hard for me to get past Inner Light. I love Best of Both Worlds. I actually liked Iborg. It looks like most of you guys didn't.
It just didn't have as much to do with the question. The question was how does it? What does he need to study for Picard?
Tapestry was. I didn't like Tapestry, but Inner Light for me was one of those. For me, it showed all of Picard's like emotional development in one episode, almost.
That's fair.
So, but you know what? I guess Best of Both Worlds 1 and 2 makes sense too. You also have more content to study there, so that's a better answer.
Oh man, Game Biter, super chat from Game Biter, $2.
Hold on, let me find it before you go into there.
Okay, this person has solved the problem for us. We had the weekly legacy was done, and now this person has figured out Seven's word. This is the right word here.
You're 100% right.
Game Biter, what's that? Game Biter for $2. For Nine's catchphrase, how about proceed? That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
She should say proceed.
Yeah, I want to see proceed, execute, and comply, but I think proceed can be the number one thing.
Comply does sound too much like
you have to make it so, engage.
Like I'm mad at you. You need to do it.
Right. So what if you had like proceed and execute as the make it so and engage?
I guess, yeah, I could go with that. But I like proceed better than execute.
And what if the proceed was the standard, execute was like the passionate one? Engage!
Execute sounds, I mean, I don't know. Execute, maybe. I like proceed a lot better.
Yeah, it's good. It's very good. Good job, Game Biter.
Good choice.
Okay, next super chat here. Before we're going to go into another story here, but I want to talk to you, address your super chats. August 123 for $5. Thank you, August. August says CBS's money troubles instantly end if they give us Terry-led Captain Riker series on a Galaxy-class ship. Why throw away money on Section 31 in Academy? That right there, my friend, is the $35 million question. Because
$35 million.
Because according to them, Picard was a very good reason, or at least one of the reasons, why they gained almost $40 million a month in revenue from Paramount Plus. That wasn't from me. That's what Paramount said. It was Picard, Tulsa King, and some Yellowstone thing, right? So,
yep.
If Picard season 3 is one of a handful of shows that got you an extra $30 to $40 million a month, in subscriber fees, you're 100% right. Why would you even consider gambling on anything else? Why? You need money? You got money. Picard season 3 made over 10 times in 1 month what the season cost. Why wouldn't you? Why would you gamble? And this is a testament to mismanagement. And I'll tell you this. I don't want to continue beating this already dead and buried horse. But some studios have an almost psychotic level of mismanagement. MGM, for instance, owned Stargate. We've talked about this before. They have mismanaged that studio into a zombie state and then eventually sold to Amazon. They could never get their properties off the ground. All they can ever do was lease them out. Any property that they were actually a part of creatively would fail. The only IPs they owned that did well were IPs that they literally leased out wholesale and had nothing to do with. Their name was only on it because they were the original owners. Burned to the ground. CBS and Paramount, they are making very similar decisions. They are greenlighting, I want to say passion projects that individual executives that are really overpaid, that are highly overpaid, think are going to set them up for their next career. They're not concerning themselves with Paramount. They're concerning themselves with their career. Alex Kurtzman, I believe, does not want to look bad. He's already set up this whole thing. He got Michelle Yeoh. He wants to do Section 31. He would rather do Section 31 to make himself look better and lose money than do what the fans clearly want, that clearly made the studio already $40 million in a month. I mean, that's the only answer. It's got to be mismanagement, and to a point where it's almost negligent mismanagement, because they're so selfish. They're so concerned with their own career, not the studio they work for, their career. MGM had the same problem. Disney is Disney's so broken up in different studios, it's really hard to say all of Disney. But this is a common problem in the industry for a long time. And I first witnessed it watching MGM flail into their 5th bankruptcy before being sold to Amazon.
Well, the question is, and I think you're right along the lines here. Like, what Star Trek, what legacy Star Trek fan or old time Star Trek fan doesn't want to see Captain Riker or Will Riker continue his story? So that's a good point. It seems like a sure bet. I mean, Star Trek Legacy right now seems like a sure bet. Like, continuing the story that we're on, I think everybody would like to watch that. I mean, that's a sure bet. So why would they do Section 31? Why would they do Starfleet Academy? It's because they're trying to lay the foundation for a new generation. They have this, they recognize, and there's a whole, section of studios. There's a whole office where they're saying, what's next? What's the future? Like, let's admit it. We're old. So we will be around hopefully for the next 30 years or so, right? Hopefully we've got some decades left in us.
Yeah, hopefully.
But we're going to start dying off. And there's a whole office in each of these studios that is focused on the next generation coming up. And they desperately want to cultivate this younger audience and make new Star Trek fans. Desperately. You look at Prodigy, aimed at kids. Discovery, aimed at the younger generation. Do you really think that Lower Decks was aimed at us? It wasn't. It was aimed at younger generations.
Well, I mean, but not real young. It was aimed at the Rick and Morty crowd for sure.
Which is young.
Yeah, well, I mean,
just because you like it and you're old doesn't mean it's aimed at you. Rick and Morty is.
By the way, I'm 40. I'm not that old. A lot of people my age.
Well, compared to what I'm talking about, right. You're old compared to you're not the target market.
That's true.
You're not. And the target market is young people. So the longer they continue to ride the old person bus, the retirement home bus, which is the rest of us. Now, frankly speaking, I've said it multiple times. All the money's coming from us. All these young people watching these shows. Do you guys are your kids paying for their own subscriptions, or are you guys paying for their subscriptions?
I'm paying for it, damn it.
We're paying for our kids' subscriptions. Still, I have adult children. They're still, hijacking my subscriptions. Why? Because why not? Right?
Bro,
because
I have younger siblings
twice.
that use my Paramount Plus.
Right. So the point is, they're trying very hard to maintain their Discovery fan base. They could just be all in with us. I don't see why they just don't do both. Why not ride us off into the sunset and line their pockets full of money and continue to build up with other shows. And that's what they should do. So let them do Section 31. Let them throw their money away on that stuff as long as they do a Star Trek Legacy show. Now, what's interesting is I really hadn't planned to, are we there yet to go into this? Yeah. So there's some really interesting news about all this. So Paramount Plus is in such trouble financially. Okay. So not only did they just 2 days ago, they announced 25% cuts from all of their staff from TV networks.
Oh my God.
So 25% of TV network staff cuts done 2 days ago. Yesterday, they cut off Jenny Tartikoff, who was the Paramount EVP vice president for global communications.
Oh my God.
Okay. She's gone, right? They're cutting the fat. So she's basically a public affairs person. They're cutting the fat all over the place because they've extended themselves. They've spent too much money, but they're not going to stop. I mean, Paramount Plus is not going to stop. So what they need to do, and they're probably going to find out during this writer strike pretty quickly, they're probably going to find out that shoot, we may not be able to do Starfleet Academy right away. They got to figure out a way to maintain that younger audience base. They got to do the Section 31 thing while they got Michelle Yeoh. They want to get that done. Mm-hmm. So, but you can see Starfleet Academy getting pushed further. I could see it not coming out in 2024. I could see like maybe needing another year. They could use the writer's strike as an excuse while they do this Janeway 7 of 9 limited legacy series, and then go, oh yeah, well, we can do this series, And so I could see all that being done in the name of, we've realigned. So it could happen.
So what you're saying is that they're thinking, in 15 years when the mooching, our moocher kids are actually paying for their own crap, we need them to like us. So the only way to address the future and the now is to create a product for us as their flagship, and then continue to surround that flagship with these other younger products. Right?
Yeah, basically.
So check this out real quick. I found I tweeted this out. I retweeted Trek Movie. But what I said was the mention of Picard as one of the reasons why Paramount is pocketing an additional $30 to $50 million per month cannot be ignored. Let's repeat this success with Star Trek Legacy. Why? Because in the Q1 call, the shareholders call, this is what Paramount said. Paramount reached 60 million total subscribers with an addition of 4.1 million subscribers in the quarter. Global subscriber growth was driven by a strong content slate, including top originals like 1923, which is Yellowstone, Tulsa King, which is also part of Yellowstone, coincidentally, and the returns of... Oh, you know that? Tulsa King's in the same universe as Yellowstone.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's made by the same people. He's actually said that he plans to connect the two soon.
Oh, that's a bummer.
And the returns of Mayor of Kingstown and Star Trek Picard. So you add that up, right? Depending on the model, the type of account chosen, this would account for an additional $30 to $50 million per month, right? Depending on whether they chose ads or not ads or annual or whatever. I did the math. So if we know that Picard season 3's budget, or we think we know that Picard season 3 budget was probably around $1 million per episode. Let's say the entire show cost $15 million, right? All right. So in 1 month, they've already assisted in bringing back at least double their budget.
Yeah, but it is a rare thing. Remember, around the marketing, it was bringing back the TNG crew after 30 years. I mean, there are elements to Picard season 3 being popular that are not just that can't be necessarily reinvented tomorrow.
Well, yeah, we really helped that out, by the way.
Yeah, we did.
I'm not tooting my own horn, but we did.
We did help get that ball rolling. But the thing is like, we're not going to keep doing that. So whatever Star Trek Legacy is moving forward, and here's the cool thing is Terry Matalas can do it. Like he can literally keep making Star Trek really good. That's why they need to keep going, keep doing it. So, I mean, would they be able to reach the highs of Picard season 3? There would probably be a bit of a drop off. I don't think it would be quite as big as what we got saying goodbye to these legends, but it still would be good Star Trek moving forward and would still probably make them good money.
Right. I agree. Okay. Okay, so on that same topic, before we get to the next super chat, we do want to address the Star Trek Picard season 3. I'm sorry, Star Trek Strange New World season 3 production delay because it's in the same vein, right?
Yeah, I mean, all you really need to know for that is because of the writer's strike, Star Trek Strange New World season 3 is being delayed, the production, and pretty much they just can't do anything. If you don't have scripts completed, like you can't really produce anything because you have to do rewrites while you're creating the episodes, and you can't do rewrites if you don't have writers. So that's why production is being pushed. So yeah.
Isn't it wild that Strange New Worlds is like season 2 hasn't come out, they're already shooting season 3, like, And we're over here signing petitions to try to get Star Trek Legacy.
Well, they had already been greenlit for season 3. So season 2, season 3 was greenlit way before Picard season 3 happened.
I know. I get it, but
Strange New Worlds is the new main show, whatever you call it. The new flagship for Star Trek is Strange New Worlds.
I guess.
So they're going to keep running that one. That one's going to go probably, as long as it doesn't completely implode, it'll go 5 seasons as well, probably.
Yeah, apparently season 3 has been on the books for months, since last year. And the filming dates were for May 2nd to September 22nd, according to this. And what happened, writer's strike, so they don't have the scripts they need to actually start. And they don't even have enough to start filming anything, not even pickups or anything. Like, that means, have they not started writing? Or are the writers just not sending what they worked on?
No, they did, but it's not completed. So if you don't have a completed script, you're even if the script isn't completed, you'll have rewrites. So the thing that they did with season 2 is season 2 was pretty much done, and they had approved any of the scripts so they could finish producing season 2 even during the writer's strike. But for season 3, there's just not enough on paper yet for them. And so if they started production, it would end up costing them more money to start production and then stop. It's just not worth it. They just need to wait until they can have their writers back.
Something's off, though. The writer's strike started on May 2nd of this year. I'm confused.
Well,
and the filming dates scheduled on the books were to start May 2nd of this year.
Right. Well, we knew weeks before that the writer's strike was coming. So that may have been what they were planning, but if you know the writer's strike's going to happen, you're obviously not going to be able to go through with it.
I just find it weird that you're planning on filming. Okay, let's say I'm going to film tomorrow, and if you're going to start filming on May 2nd, and the writers we're supposed to be working up, they're working up till May 2nd. Let
me tell you again. Rewrites. So when you go to film an episode, you have a script.
Okay.
They start filming the script, but during the entire filming of the episode, they're rewriting the script. They're making changes on the fly. They can't make those changes on the fly without the writers. So they can't do the episode.
Right. All right.
It's illegal. It's actually illegal for them to try to do it.
It's fascinating.
Yeah, because they can't pay those writers that did work on the script. So it can't be produced. The writers have completely stopped production on anything that doesn't have completed scripts already.
Yeah, so an initial script is not the actual script you're going to probably shoot anyways.
Yeah, you're doing pickups the whole way. You're doing rewrites. They're out there doing one scene for this episode, and you got the writers team back there making changes, for the end of the episode and for the next episode.
Yeah, so
when they're doing.
Even if there were no changes, just the idea of the fact that there could be changes means they can't start filming.
There will be changes. There are never not changes. No script goes in completely great, perfect, go shoot it.
That's true. Yeah, I'm saying that even if it was perfect, the idea, they can't even legally start filming because they might have some, and they would be completely shit out of luck on filming assets.
They can in advance, like say, boom, this script is finalized. There will be no changes, and that's what they probably did for the last couple episodes of season 2, so they could finish it, even if there was a writer's strike. So it's already probably been negotiated. It's probably been paid for. A lot of it is what they've been paid for. So if the writer's already been paid for all of Strange New World season 2, and the money's off the books, now they can do whatever they want with that. But season 3, they're not completely paid for their work, so they would not be able to approve those scripts and move forward.
Yeah, and we'll wrap this story up. But it's interesting that Anson Mount, Ethan Peck, and even Alex Kurtzman are now scheduled to appear at a bunch of conventions and festivals now.
Got to make that money during production. You can't go do those things.
Yeah.
So when production's off, you got to go make that money. And that's, I got to tell you, these guys are making thousands of dollars. Just think about it. If every autograph, and Anson Mount's hot stuff, his autographs are probably like $70, $80.
Oh yeah. So when we went to that first season, when we were at the Vegas one, STLV, they were $70 an autograph, and he had a line going out the door, out the hotel. It was huge.
Well, think about it. I mean, 10 people's $700, right? 100 people, $7,000.
Yeah, I mean, they probably paid him just an appearance fee to be there too, if you think about it.
Probably a lot of them do,
Yeah.
but some of them also make money off the signature. So
Fascinating. Okay, well, we're moving on from this topic.
let's hit up a few more of these. We got some more questions here that I think are good.
Yep, working on it now. Jessica Tennis. Which one of Sisko's kids? There are two. I'm referring to Jake Sisko.
So yeah, obviously referring to Jake. Jake's the only one that was actually that we learned a lot about. If you go back to Cassidy Yates was pregnant with Benjamin Sisko's second child in 2375. It's funny because if you go back to the writers, they were actually going to name that child Joseph Yates Sisko, but of course the child never happened, and I'm assuming that's the other one you're talking about. Yeah,
interesting. Well, thank you, Jessica, for your super chat. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Jessica.
I have not seen you here before, so thank you for being here. Or maybe I just forgot. I don't know, but thank you for being here. Okay. Next one here. Sorry. Michael Nemo. Twist. Shaw dies every episode.
That would just like kill us every time. Like, oh no, kill him. That would actually be pretty funny.
South Park Kenny thing.
Yeah, they killed Shaw.
Yeah. What if the nano
bastards?
So like, what if she injected him with nano? Dude, think about this. Wouldn't it be a fitting thing for the guy who hates the Borg to be saved by Borg tech, right? Mm-hmm. So what if the nano probes are like actively repairing him? So every time he dies, he wakes up. God damn it!
That would be really crazy. Yeah, you guys are doing really good. You've gotten Kyle down to 10,000 points.
Oh, I mean, dude, I think some. I thought he had less than that. But
you just cut me off. Can you hold on a second?
Go ahead.
So you've got him down to actually does that say 100,000?
It's 10,000.
10,000. Feels like there's too many zeros. Yeah. So that essentially is, I think, about, what is that? $100?
Yeah, about $100. Yeah.
Right? Is that about $100?
Yep.
It's going to take about $100 to knock Kyle off at this point. So just heads up on that. You guys are doing a great job.
Christopher Mays. They don't need to bring Shaw back because Shaw didn't die. That's what I'm saying, bro.
All right, Christopher, you and Brian are definitely on the same train here.
That's exactly what I said.
If he didn't die, all the better for all of us. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Yeah, why not?
Thank you for the support, brother.
Thank you much, Chris. Another Michael Nemo. Spock, Chapel to Pring, hijack almost every Strange New World. I got to tell you.
Brian doesn't mind.
Anytime. Literally any time to Pring is on the screen, I'm okay with it.
He's looking for that to Pring sandwich.
You guys,
every time.
I don't know what that character, that actress, whatever, checks every box for me. Like literally every box. It is
well, and not only
baffling. That, it looks like someone I would create in AI. It doesn't even look. It's like not even a real person. It's like a perfect person.
Yeah, and he already thinks that Spock's super sexy, and he also thinks that Nurse Chapel's super sexy.
They're all smoke shows.
Like with all those, like he's making a sandwich, Michael.
Yeah,
like he's making a sandwich.
Yeah, every episode I start off,
and he's off in the corner
by making that sandwich in my head to completion, and then finishing the episode.
Right.
Another one from Michael Nemo. Kurt's Trek only panders to the LGBTQ community. No, I think they also pander to a couple other communities too, but they tend to pander a lot to the checkboxing.
That's the problem, is they pander. Like, don't pander at all. Like, literally just, the whole IDIC thing has just been hijacked. We go back to it all the time. Like, when I don't understand why people have created their own narratives. If you go back to what Roddenberry was trying to create, that was his vision of the future. He wasn't pandering to anybody. He just simply said the future has all the races are working together, all people will have peace, and that's what I want to show on my TV show. So the thing is like I've said before, you never saw, like they didn't talk about the fact that Sulu was Asian or that Uhura was black. It never even came up.
It
wasn't a topic. They weren't talking about the history and the plight of those people. So why are they doing it now? Just simply show those people. Okay, that's what they need to do. It's difficult with LGBTQ stuff because with race, it's one thing. Like you see them on screen, boom. Like you can see that's an Asian person, that's a black person, that's a white person. This person's mixed race. Like you can see what people are when you see them. But when it comes to gender, there is no way to see it. So, and this is where you come into a big problem with Star Trek. The only way to show gender is to tell a story.
Right.
So you have to create a narrative to show somebody's gender on screen. That impacts the story. And that's why we have a problem.
Right.
Because now gender or sexual identity has hijacked the story because the only way to show that those people exist is by doing that. If you go back to Picard season 3, Ensign Esmar is a trans person. That actor and the character apparently is, I guess, considered trans. But because they don't wrap a story around it, or she doesn't actually verbally tell us that, there's no way to know. And that's where it becomes dangerous. Like, not dangerous, but it's where it becomes difficult. How do you show representation of all of these different things? It used to just be about what people look like. Now it has to be about how people feel. And that's the problem. And it's why we're always going to have difficulty with this, as long as we have to focus on that as opposed to tell a story. So
that's true. No, you're 100% correct. We got to start focusing solely on the story. And if you want to weave in a social narrative, go to town, as long as it's part of said story and not a part of getting your better ESG score or whatever.
Right.
Man, I can't believe that information even came out. What a wild thing about the ESG thing. That just fueled YouTube for like 6 months.
You'll have to explain to people who don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's like this score, this like progressive score called an ESG score, and it basically says your company. It's like a credit score, but for companies.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a credit score for companies on how, for lack of a better word, woke they are, or how progressive they are, whatever. And the parameters are really all wildly about checking all these boxes. The more you pander to that ideology, the better your score is. And this is why it's important to have a better score. The people that run the score are a part of the big giant banks and the people that control capital and loans and all that nonsense. Mm-hmm. You want the best loans and the best investments, you better make sure your ESG score is high, because if ESG score is low, then you can't even talk to these people that have the money you need to fund your next movie or whatever. That's
interesting.
It's a wild thing.
That sucks. It's a terrible thing.
When I first read about it, I was like, this has to be a conspiracy theory, right? It's not real. No, it's real.
Well, that's what's wrong with the world. When you feel like you got to put rules in place, that's too bad. It just hampers creativity.
It's literally the opposite of freedom. And the thing is that what drives me nuts is the people that put that ESG score in place probably think that they're doing a good thing. They think they're the heroes. Of course they do.
They think that they're forcing. They feel like they're forcing everyone to be more of a melting pot. You know that, but the problem is they're not doing that. What's happening is all you're taking one group of people and pushing them aside, and then focusing totally on one other group of people.
Right.
It's essentially a form of racism.
Yeah, you can't force progress, because that is slavery.
Not even racism or whatever, bigotry.
Whatever.
Because if you only focus on the LGBTQ community and you push out all the cisgendered men, now you're just focusing on one group again.
Right.
And it's just, I understand you're trying to create fairness for everybody, but it's almost impossible for there to be everything to be equal. You have people who are born today. Some people are more motivated than other people. Some people have different needs and wants and desires than other people. It's impossible to have perfect, equality.
Yeah. what they told you in school when they said, you can be anything you want. You could be president of the United States. They lied to you. Sorry to say.
Well, you could.
Some of you can. Sure.
I mean, anybody can if they want it bad enough.
No. Yeah, some of you can. Some of you probably wasn't born with that kind of mentality to do politics or have the motivation to even get through school, right? You might have to take your own route.
Well, I would say I wouldn't use the word can, like they can't. They won't is the right word. Like they won't do it because they don't have it in them.
Right. So technically everyone can, but they just don't have it in them to do it. So then that means
not everybody
can't.
has it. Right. Well, not everybody will. Yeah, not everybody will. Yeah, but me telling you can't, that's not my job. It's within yourself to decide whether you can or can't do something.
Yeah. The bottom line is not everyone was created equal, and it has nothing to do with the color of your skin. It has everything to do with your motivation, your ability, there's a lot of factors, and it's not skin or sexuality. It is mentality and content of character that determines whether or not you are going to be better or worse than the next person. Bottom line. Look, man, I know for a fact that I could have made more money and I could have been more successful in my adulthood. But I didn't want to. I want to. No, of course I want more money.
I didn't want it bad enough.
I want a nice house. I would like, but if I really wanted it, I would have stayed in college, right? Maybe I would have gone, instead of joining the military, maybe I would have stayed in school. Maybe I would have gone a different career path. Instead of collecting nerd tchotchkes and watching Star Trek, maybe I would have been, studying engineering or physics or something. I would have been doing something that I didn't want to do in order to get there. And now there are some people that are so driven and so motivated that they do that. And I feel like I'm a driven, motivated guy, but I obviously wasn't driven and motivated enough to be that guy. Yeah. I still like to watch Star Trek and play Dota 2.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. And so just to address, so for people who've come in kind of late here, you see Kyle is up here on he's our hero, our unleashed hero person of the moment right now. And he's slowly, his score has been, his health is being whittled down as people super chat. And some people were asking why his name was up there. So as you guys support the channel by doing gifting, thanks and super chats and memberships and things like that, his score will come down, and whoever gives him the final death blow and removes his health to 0, they will then go up as the unleashed hero of the day. And whoever is up there the longest is going to win a prize at the end. So we'll be doing that before we end the stream.
Yeah, we got a lot of really cool prizes, and we're going to be trying to do, like, our plan every week, every Thursday at least, is to give away stuff, and then every month to give away stuff, and then every quarter to give away stuff. We just want to we want to give back to as many people that are supporting us, the members, the people that are coming in.
Yeah.
Even if you're just sharing and liking, like let's do it. Shane and I talked a couple of guys ago. We're like, let's just start connecting and giving away all kinds of stuff, and let's just have a good time with everyone. Because, we got a lot of new people watching during Picard, and that's great. Well, not only do we not want to lose you, but
people like Kyle.
We're having a great time every Thursday with you, and the reason we show up to do it every Thursday and we set up this whole thing and we go through the process of doing the show is because we're getting to spend time with you guys and chat with you guys, and it's cathartic for me. My whole week is often pretty sucky until I get to Thursday, so I really appreciate it.
Well, I'm sorry about that, man. That's good to know that we can do it here, and we're building community, and that's what that's about.
Life is hard sometimes, bro. It's okay.
I know. And all the numbers running across the top, that's for all of our shows. So those numbers get added up. If you super chat on Monday's show, or you super chat today, or one of the other new shows that Brian are going to be doing, all that gets totaled in for the monthly winner. So.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. So any super chat at any point every month is tracked up there, and every week we'll show it here on the stream.
Yep. We'll keep bringing them up. Yeah, we only show it on this stream though, right? I can't control it.
Yeah, we can only show it on this stream.
You'll see it on Thursdays. Yeah.
The other streams are not as customizable. Rebecca Spade for $5. Thank you, Rebecca. Is Alex, I guess, Kurtzman signing pics at the convention? Laughing emoji. Would that be? You think he's sitting there next to Anson Mount signing pics?
I just can't imagine that he would do that. Like when I saw he's going to a convention, I'm just like, he's probably going to be on a panel. That's all I can imagine. I don't think he would ever sign. He made too much money. Like you after you get millions of dollars to go and to go run Star Trek, I don't think you can sit there and sign headshots.
I think it was like $87 million or something like that. It was some insane amount of money.
Yeah, he just made too much money, and yeah, he'll never need to sign headshots.
Yeah, that's why when like people like other YouTubers are like, Alex Kurtzman will be gone next year. You're like, no. They gave him almost $100 million.
I love how you say other YouTubers and then say it exactly like Doomcock.
Okay, it's Doomcock. When Doomcock says Kurtzman will be gone next year, and then, like, hey, bro, they gave him almost $100 million. They're not getting rid of the guy.
Not yet.
Like,
although if he screws this up after the writer's strike, if he picks the wrong shows, his lifetime will be shortened. Because Paramount can't listen when his deal's up. Listen, Paramount is cutting the fat. They are not going to pay him a ton of money. How crazy would it be for Paramount to go, I wonder if we could pay somebody $30 million to run this thing. I wonder if we could pay him $20 million. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, dude, they could have paid Terry a tiny fraction of what they gave Kurtzman to run.
Terry would do it for a Subway sandwich at lunch and just pay him what it does to show run. He would probably run the whole thing.
He probably would. He'd run the entire thing. You're right. Ed Darlow for $1.99. No message, just a lot of love. Thank you, Ed.
Thank you, Ed. Appreciate that.
Hell of a guy.
He's whittling away. He's whittling away at Kyle's.
I think there was a sticker there, and maybe I don't see it or something. Okay. So moving on from that. Speaking of Doomcock, there is some news about Indiana Jones.
Oh, well, that's not. There's not news.
Well, it's news. There is some news.
Is it news or is it like we got a sneak peek?
Well, we can't. Like our channel will be nuked from orbit if we show that.
No, but we got a sneak peek.
Yes, yeah, we got
Thanks
a sneak peek.
To a fan.
A fan sent us a sneak peek of. Okay, let me start this right. A fan sent us a sneak peek of Indiana Jones. We watched like 7 minutes of it or something like that.
Yep.
And it's very interesting because we got this 7 minutes of Indiana Jones, and like 5 days prior to that was Doomcock's video where he was taking credit for. I'm not joking.
Stop.
I'm not joking here. You're gonna go make me laugh. He's taking credit for. Your face is making me laugh. He's taking credit for Indiana Jones not doing any of the things that he said it was going to do last year. It's so hard. It's hard to say.
What a grift, man. What a grift.
He literally has his little puppets going like, didn't you say that they're going to do this? Yes, and because I said that, they have reshot it.
Doomcock's taking credit for Indiana Jones completely being reshot so that it negates everything that he said was going to happen. It's incredible. Listen, I mean, huge credit to that guy.
Dude, don't hate the player, hate the game.
For being right no matter what happens. He has made it so that he wins no matter what. And listen, when you're in a no-lose scenario, I mean, congratulations. But huge shout out to Metal Gear, who sent us this clip, and we can't show it to you guys, and nor would you want us to. And we don't really want to spoil it for you, but there will be some light spoilers in this discussion, a little bit. So if you don't mind getting a little bit of plot, us telling you a little bit about the plot, of us telling you a little bit about the characters, and us making some like assumptions based on what we saw without really being able to, I would say for sure that's exactly what the movie's going to be. we can do that for you.
Right.
Yeah. So we're going to give you a moment now to bow out if you don't want to hear anything at all about it.
It's I don't. It's like I guess it's a spoiler, but
very light.
It's not even a story point. So
what we can tell you is that the 7 minutes that we watched was essentially a chase scene. There was very limited dialogue, but there was dialogue. So what we got to see was this kind of prolonged scene between Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford and Fleabag. Oh, gosh, I totally forgot her name. Those two characters, and essentially they're chasing Mads Mikkelsen.
you called her Fleabag. Phoebe
Well, that's the show she was
Phoebe
on.
Waller, whatever.
Phoebe Waller-Cates, right? Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
That's what
Cates.
Doom called
That's
her.
what I'll do.
Fleabag will be the new Indiana Jones.
I mean, that's what she's most known for. I haven't.
He will be wiped out of history by the dial of destiny, and every one of his accomplishments will be attributed to Fleabag. You're like, there's no fucking way anyone ever does that. There's no way. I don't care if you could be a mentally challenged monkey on coke, and there is no way you erase the hero of your franchise from all of its previous movies and replace it with another person.
Well, I don't know. They did with Mark Hamill. He was basically erased from Star Wars.
No, but his accomplishments weren't erased. Jim Gunn was literally saying like, oh, they were going to show clips of her doing Temple of Doom, her doing Last Crusade, her doing. Yeah, that's insane.
It's the most ludicrous bullshit. It's like, how do you get your? He sat around and said, "Listen, how can I piss off everybody who's going to watch this as much as humanly possible? Right. I'm going to create something that just absolutely could not happen. There's no freaking way that could even happen. And the fact that it came out of his mouth is disgusting. And like respect the game, respect the player, but that is just straight up lies. And if you're going to lie to people, then I'm sorry, I can't respect you. So that's it.
Yeah.
But so off of that guy, and on to the truth, the reality.
It's so insane. I watched it right before watching that clip, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. Well, there is some bad news. There's kind of bad news and kind of like, I don't know. So we're going to it a little bit. So the scene basically has Phoebe and Harrison. Let's just call them, what's her character that do you remember her character in the movie?
I have no idea what her character name is.
It's the daughter of his longtime friend.
Let's just call her Phoebe or Fleabag.
Phoebe. Okay. So Phoebe in Indiana.
Okay.
In here at the Indiana. So basically they're in a chase scene, right? And so it starts out with Indiana Jones driving this little tiny vehicle in some foreign country. And Phoebe is kind of the passenger, right? And then they have a third guy, like some, you know how they always have like the local
like, a young tour guide, right?
Yeah, a young tour guide stuck on this crazy ride with him. Right. And it looks like they're chasing Mads Mikkelsen. And I'm like, okay, I'm watching it. And you've got Indiana's driving. Okay, cool.
Well,
he's
it starts
in charge.
up with that kid actually saving Indy by knocking the guy over with the gun. And then Indy goes, move over, kid.
Right. And then Indiana drives. Right. He does a total Indiana thing. Okay. And he's driving. Now, what I will tell you about this clip is Indiana Jones is definitely 100% Indiana Jones.
Yeah, 100%.
Like he's doing Indiana Jones things. He's acting like Indiana Jones would, and nobody's taking anything from him or doing anything for him.
Yeah, I'm frankly surprised that Harrison Ford is capable of what was happening on screen.
Yeah, he really like convinces you that he's still like good.
Who knows?
But here's the thing.
Maybe it's 15 different body doubles. I don't know.
But here's the thing is Phoebe, well, his voice is strong, like his commanding, his actions, all that is good, whatever his body is doing. Phoebe, on the other hand, is not what we expected this character to be. So Phoebe is actually about as capable as Indy is. In the 7 minutes we saw, she's basically as capable as him. She has some athletic ability.
Yep.
She's also determined. So we learn in this scene that Indiana Jones has come to rescue her. So he basically tells her, like, I came here to rescue you. And she's like, why would you rescue me? I didn't ask you to rescue me. What we learn about this character is that she's actually like a little bit of like a bad person, like a bad girl.
Right.
Like she's a rogue. She's got gambling debts. She owes people money. And Indiana Jones is like, how could you do this to the memory of your father? Right. So it's all about like, he's like, don't you, care about what I guess her father probably set her up to have a life, to probably be like, a professor of some sort. She probably had like a whole existence to be set up, and she chose to go another path, is what it seems like.
Right.
And so during this scene, she's basically confused as to why Indiana Jones is there. She's chasing this bad guy herself, who apparently might have been her boyfriend at one time.
Yeah, they were dating or something.
They were dating, and he's got her money. So she's chasing him. So they're kind of chasing him together, but separately. And he thinks he's there to rescue her. She's like, I don't need rescuing. And it does feel like, I would say the danger part of it is, while all of Indiana Jones's women in all of his movies are strong women who are capable, there's always this element of Indiana Jones ultimately being the hero of the story. There is a little bit of fear that it's possible that they're both the hero of this story, just based on the 7 minutes we saw. I think in the end, Indiana will, of course, be the overall hero because, like what we said earlier, I don't think they'll change that narrative. And Steven Spielberg said he likes the movie. I trust James Mangold. He hasn't done a bad movie. I don't feel like he would ruin the character. He's an Indiana Jones fan since he was a kid, like us. He's our age. So, I feel like he's going to want to end it strongly and well. But this female Indiana Jones character does seem to be more capable than I would say most other characters, even though, the first character was able to drink her opponents under the table. And the second lady was able to, during Temple of Doom, she actually became pretty capable by the end of the movie, but she had a really good character arc. This one seems like she's capable of taking care of herself. So we'll see where that leads to. What we do know, the little piece of info that was given to us.
And by the way, Willie Scott was so good looking in that. So fine.
You always go back to
in
that.
Temple of Doom, though, like, oh my God, she was so hot, so crazy. Sorry, go ahead.
So Indiana's trying to get back the Dial of Destiny. He says it during the 7-minute scene. I just want to get the dial back, is what he says. So has nothing to do with the dial. She don't care about none of that. She's got her own business going on. She's trying to get her money back. She's trying to hunt down her ex-boyfriend or whatever. And Indiana Jones, they kind of end up, looks like, together on accident. He thinks he's rescuing her. She doesn't, and they end up kind of working together. Take it or leave it for what you guys want, but that's essentially what happens. And I don't know. What do you think, Brian?
I'll tell you what I think. I think we didn't see enough. Oh, by the way, Penny, spoilers over. We didn't see enough. We didn't see enough to actually glean from the movie if she's a Mary Sue or just a classic Indiana Jones female character.
She doesn't seem to be a Mary Sue. And I'll say the reason why is because apparently she's been doing this for a while. Like she's been a rogue for a bit. So whatever she's learned or capable of, likely she may have. It seems like it might be believable that she might know how to do some of this stuff.
Okay, so she's not the love interest, so it's a little bit different this time for Indy, because Christopher Mays is right. There are actually only 3 Indiana Jones movies.
Well, the third one didn't really have a love interest. It was his dad.
Yeah, in the first 2, there was 2 love interests, and then there was a love interest in 3, but it wasn't really. Yeah. Well, what?
It wasn't main part of the story.
Right. The main story was him and his dad. So I'll tell you this, and Christopher, I got a great story about that in a second, but let me finish my thought. I think that this, like, from what we saw and what we know about the Phoebe Waller-Cates from Fleabag.
Bridge. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Bridge. My bad. Oh, my God.
I know. Phoebe Cates is an old-time actress.
I think that she is capable of delivering, delivering the spice to Indiana Jones. And as long as the movie focuses on Indiana Jones, we're cool. I did read the script, at least the initial script, before Pink Slips came out. And it was verified. It was a script from the trailer house. And here's the deal. I'm not going to spoil anything. But from what I read, first off, Doomcock was 100% wrong on everything he said. Maybe except for one thing that wasn't even important. And the way it read for me when I first read it was Indiana Jones was the hero. And he was respected and he was given his send-off. And that's the way the movie should go. And assuming it hasn't changed since I read it, that's the way it should go. That's why I'm pretty confident that this movie, at the very least, will honor that. And I'm not saying, am I saying it's going to be the best movie? Is it even going to be the best Indiana Jones movie? No, I don't know. I don't even think the script I read was like hyper compelling, but it was entertaining. I think it's going to be a fun Indiana Jones movie. And I think that people are getting bent out of shape over rumors that are just factually, that can't be substantiated in any way.
Yeah, I think a lot's going to depend on whether Phoebe is likable. Her character is likable. Like, if her character is not likable, it's going to mess up the movie. So, and what I've seen from those 7 minutes is I didn't really like her. You know, it's a very small snapshot. I did not say, wow, I like this character. I was actually like, I hope there's more to her than what I'm seeing right now, because if she's also a badass and they're going to spend the whole movie competing, there's an element of competing to this between the two. Didn't you not feel that?
It felt that way a little bit.
It felt that way. Like they were almost trying to one up each other a little bit. Like, she leaves him behind.
Yeah.
In one piece, you know, it's like she's trying to do her own thing. So we'll see if it comes together. And if eventually she bends the knee, she's got to bend the knee, period.
Yeah.
Like, this is Indy's movie. If she don't bend the knee, then it's going to be a bad movie.
We said the same thing about Picard season 3. Like, look, you can't have Cisco flying in on the Defiant and save the day. The show is called Picard. Indiana Jones 5 is called Indiana Jones, not Phoebe Jones or whatever. Like, and he needs to be the hero. He needs to be the elder statesman, whatever. She can add to it 100%. She can be a great character that we all love, maybe. But she has to, at some point, the character has to make way for the main character. The main character needs to be Indiana Jones, not Phoebe Waller-Bridge. All right.
So just to highlight Christopher Mays' super chat, because I know you said it kind of in passing. Thank you so much, Christopher.
I was about to tell him a story about it. That's why.
What's that?
I was about to tell him a story about it. That's why.
Okay. Well, you mentioned it, so that's why I wasn't sure.
Yeah, Christopher, it's funny that you said that. Thank you for the super chat, my friend. It's really, really funny because I was watching E! Entertainment, right? Like the big network television show series. I mean, the network. And they were talking about, it was right after CinemaCon, and someone had watched part of Indiana Jones. And he comes out and he's like, so I watched this, blah, blah. You know, I'm really excited about it. And he goes, and it doesn't matter what he says. But what he said at the very end was great. He goes, this is the first movie, an Indiana Jones movie, not directed by Steven Spielberg since the first 3 movies. And someone off camera was like, blah, blah, blah. He goes, there's a 4th movie? I'm not joking. He says, there's a 4th movie. He goes, okay, that's
funny.
I mean, I didn't see that movie, but the movies that I saw, this is the first one. I was laughing my butt off. I don't know if it was intentional or what, but it just sort of solidified the our community joke that we have going on here. Yeah, it must be a joke elsewhere too.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe
it was really funny.
Steven's got a good sense
of humor. There's a 4th movie.
Maybe Steven's got a good sense of humor about it.
I'm sure. I mean, he directed the 4th movie too.
That's what I'm saying. He would have to have a sense of humor about it for them to tell that joke if it was a joke.
Right. I think it was a joke. Also from Christopher Mays. Damn, Christopher coming through with the woo.
He's trying to replace Kyle.
He's getting close. 1999 from Christopher Mays. Rumor has it Kyle Proch is secretly Doomcock. Get him.
Kyle's like, am I going to have to put more money on this to move my score up?
As a Doomcock just rolls in, he's like, I'm just going to take over this stream right away, not let anyone to play the game. And there we go. Good luck, boys.
That's funny. Leaves. So wait, can Kyle actually add to his point total? Like, is that possible? Like, can he like super chat again and add to his points?
Yeah. When whoever's the current hero, right? The current King of the Hill, whatever, the hero. when they super chat, it actually adds health to their bar.
Oh, okay. So they can maintain their stay longer if they add to their health.
Right. Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Well, there you go, guys. I guess we should have told you that from the beginning, but apparently you can add to your. So if somebody is trying to take you off the board, you can fight to not be removed. So.
Yeah, my bad. There's a lot going on here.
There's so many things.
I forgot that part. If you are the current hero in that slot and you want to stay there, you can super chat, you can like, you can subscribe, you can membership, you can give membership, you can any engagement from you that tracks in our feed, it gets added to the health bar.
Oh, all right, cool.
By the way, any engagement gets added to that health bar or taken away. But it's obviously super chats and memberships that do the most.
All right.
Thank you, Christopher. Christopher's the man.
That was so funny. Rumor has it Kyle is doing. I've never seen him in the same room. Just saying. And Kyle, listen, that's okay. We
never
love
seen
you.
him in the same room. Never, not once, Kyle.
It's okay.
I still am sort of beyond myself that we didn't get. I don't know why. Like we know Doomcock probably doesn't like us very much, but
I wonder why.
I even asked Mike, who's good friends with us and with Doomcock. I was like, "Hey, what did Doomcock think about our video? You know, we weren't trying to like be mean or whatever. We were just trying to have fun in a nice way.
We gave him a good out. Yeah. No.
Yeah. And he's like, hey, you didn't seem to mind. Like, huh? No reaction at all. Okay.
He's not going to give you the satisfaction, man.
It's
just not going to happen.
But to be fair, we were nice. We weren't mean. We've never been mean to anyone. Just be like, if we disagree,
No.
we'll give you a hard time, but we're never actually mean. Like that's not our thing.
No, but I'll be honest. I mean, like I don't respect what he's done with Indiana Jones, but at the same time, more power to him.
It's really hilarious, especially when like the little guys, the ones doing all the talking. Didn't you say the budget was ballooned to 150 million because of your reporting caused reshoots? And he's like, that's correct.
That's great.
I was laughing. Yeah, I gotta give it to him. To me, it's entertaining as hell. I'm sitting there just laughing my butt off the whole time. I don't think that's intention though. The intention. Okay.
Well, no, of course not.
All right. We do. Okay. So we're gonna do the member section soon, right?
Yeah. I just a couple things we need to bring up. So I want to do it real quick. Can you put in a poll? Who's watching Mrs. Davis?
Oh, Mrs. Davis.
So, yeah. And listen, we love you guys so much. Thank you guys for all of you. You know, I just saw Rob and Bailey channel. I love you guys. We love you guys too. And I got to tell you, we couldn't do this if you didn't show up here and talk with us and hang out with us. We just couldn't do it. We really enjoy bringing this information to you guys, but I mean, a lot of the comments we get and just, it really keeps us motivated because it's hard to do this day in and day out. You know, this channel, you know, obviously our other channel is better for us, and this channel has been growing and it's good, and we're more excited to do it nowadays. We got a super chat from Kyle. So Kyle we're testing whether or not to add. It'll add to his.
Oh, he's trying to add to it. He doesn't want to be knocked
Did it
down.
add to it?
I mean, it takes a second for it to go through.
Kyle Proc, 1999. Hopefully I'm saying your name right. 1999. Thank you. I'm actually Shine. I can't be defeated. Christopher Mays is Doomcock. Christopher, we have not seen you in the same room with Doomcock. We're just going to put it out there.
Oh my God.
That's great. Yeah.
That
Kyle
was
is
great.
Shane.
I am actually Shane. I cannot be defeated. We made a monster.
Hopefully you guys subscribe to that channel because I can't wait to see. I'm so excited to see what AI thumbnails are going to come out for some of these stories. Like, I think we're going to like do other stories, like really popular ones that come out. So like, imagine like Donald Trump convicted of rape. What kind of
what the
what
image
kind of
would come
thumbnails
out? By the way, we're not saying he was convicted of rape because that's not accurate. We're just
that's
saying
what the headlines were saying.
That's what the stupid headline is. So when you push the headline into the oh yeah, it did. Look at it, just added a bunch of HP to Kyle.
Did it do it?
Yeah, it just did.
Kyle will not.
He's
be
went to
defeated,
5K to 7,300.
Nice.
So we were saying that's obviously incorrect, but there's ridiculously insane headlines out there that are just completely false, total misinformation. So you plug those already false misinformation headlines and articles into the AI, who is already a little confused, sarcastic, and mean. It's going to create a banger of a video, and then the thumbnail on top of it, like, it's gonna be hilarious. You know it's gonna. It's
gotta be. Yeah,
it's gonna be.
I can't wait to
funny.
see him. That's gonna be must see every week for me. I'm gonna be waiting for my alert to come in.
By the way, thank you, Kyle Proc. Is that right?
I think it's Proc. Yeah.
Or Pro. It could be Pro, right? No, it's not.
Could be Pro.
Well, thank you, Kyle. We appreciate it, my friend. Really do. Like we can only exist here because of your guys' support. I'm just being real. We are not independently wealthy. That's for certain.
That's for sure.
I couldn't afford my customary Red Bull this week, so I bought.
I couldn't afford my customary
Red Bull. It's so expensive.
Dude,
it's like $40 now for a case of Red Bull. But
wow.
I found
as I drink my Starbucks coffee.
The Amazon brand. It's called like Sommelier or Somali or something. It's something a horrible name, by the way.
Isn't that Jesse Schmolier or whatever?
No. It's
Juicy Smollett.
Yeah, I'll show you right now.
Kyle's name's pronounced Proach.
Proach. Okay. It's called oh geez. Anyways, I'll look it up. But while I'm talking about this, so I'm like, I found the Amazon Essentials brand basically of Red Bull, and
that's a thing.
Oh yeah. It's called I can't find the name right now. It's something. It's really a horrible name. It's like Somoli or whatever. It's dumb. Whatever. It was like $18 for the same amount, so I bought it. Oh my god, this stuff is. Oh, here it is. It's just cough medicine, basically.
Oh my god!
Look at that, $18.
Silver energy drink. It literally says silver energy drink.
And look at the name. It's like Solimol. It's a horrible name. So this is like their Red Bull, right? And it sort of tastes like Red Bull, but it also tastes like maybe I'm being poisoned.
Well, dude, a pack of 12 is $18. That's cheap.
But a pack of 12 Red Bulls is like $30-something.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Anyways, that was a funny offhand thing there. It's ridiculous the lengths in which I'll go to get my addiction, but I couldn't even get through one of these drinks. It tasted so bad. It was so rancid. It's like what would happen if you distilled Red Bull, right, and left it out in the sun for too long? That's pretty much what this tastes like.
Oh, well, that doesn't sound
Silver energy drink.
All right, let's see. We got another super chat. Oh, Christopher Mays comes back. $9.99. Thank you so much, Christopher. I'm not Doomcock, but I might be one of the puppets.
I mean,
do the puppet voice again, Brian.
Which you want to do puppet voice or the Doomcock voice?
Yeah, do the puppet voice.
Doomcock, didn't you say that Indiana Jones had 100 million more budget because of rewrites? Yes, I did.
Does he do all the voices?
He does all the voices, from what I know, what I've been told. Hopefully I'm not spoiling anything for you guys. And here's the funny part. When you realize that he's just complimenting himself.
when you realize that he's doing all the voices, he's complimenting himself.
Right. He just throughout the video, it's just him complimenting himself. It's really funny.
Great. That's great.
You know,
I'm going to watch it with a whole new perspective.
I know. I'm telling you, it's great. That's funny. Maze Ultra Purple. Yeah, I actually did buy an energy drink once called Purple Drink. No joke. It was called Purple Drink.
Yeah.
All right. I think I might be addicted to caffeine. just
You think?
Yeah.
Oh, guys. Okay, so I think we're almost done here. It looks like Kyle is going to be unseated
unseated
for the day.
He got close. Christopher Mays got really close.
He gave him a run for his money for sure.
He might have made it had Kyle not added health to his bone. Because look at now, it's 300. Yeah.
But regardless, Kyle did hold it the longest today, so he would be the winner.
But bro, Rebecca Spade had it for about 3 seconds.
I don't even think she got it. Like he just over the topped her, But so let's go ahead, and we haven't done this before, so it's first time. So Kyle Proch, you are the winner. You are the very first Unleashed hero of a stream,
and we're doing the spinner, right?
Yeah. So the spinner of the 5 items, so we can show the items again.
Okay.
And then we're going to tell you guys what's coming up. So don't leave. Let's do this for Kyle, and then we'll tell you what's coming up on our upcoming shows. And of course,
okay, you're gonna want to buy me a little time because I set it up correctly.
That's what I'm doing, man. Okay. That's literally what I'm doing. Like you stopped me from buying you time to tell you to buy you time.
Please continue.
Okay, so now I don't know what I was buying you time and I was going somewhere, and you stopped me from buying you time.
I'm sorry, bro.
Okay, you want to join us in the member section because we're going to tell the title of the video that's coming up that we can't say here in the public side, but we're also going to talk with you guys. And this is in the member section is where we talk, directly to the chat. We kind of go back and forth on things. We'll talk about topics of the day. We'll also kind of go a little deeper and further on things that we know that we might not share out here in public. And of course, it's just an opportunity to hang out and talk about things. So please come over to the members section, and let's hang out. We'll explain also the member prizes because we're going to be giving member prizes monthly now. And so we'll do that there as well. Yeah. I bought you the time.
That's all you can do? That's all you can do, really?
Do you want me to do more?
Do I have to type and talk at the same time? Come on.
No, I got you. So if you're still going. Let me see what else I got. Okay, so tomorrow, I don't know, this could be a complete shit show, but tomorrow I'm going to try to do my own show.
I'm here for it.
Like I literally, guys, 7 years, I've never done anything alone before. Like it's always been me and Brian for everything.
It's true.
But tomorrow at 10 a.m., and I don't even know the name of the show yet. Maybe you guys can help me come up with a name.
Oh yeah, you need to come up with a name. Like, because I need to actually make your material tonight.
Well, here's the thing: we can come up with a name initially, but see, I was gonna call it like Freedom Friday, but I don't know. It might sound like a little lame.
All right, so tell them what you're planning on doing, and then the chat can help you come up with a name for your show.
Well, yeah, it's gonna be just like I don't want to call it this, but it's gonna be like Morning Joe with Shane. Right. So It's going to be, we're going to talk about it. I think tomorrow's topics are going to be, what do we got coming up? It's probably going to be like, we're going to talk about a little bit of Disney stuff with Florida, like that whole weird thing going down. We're going to talk about writers. Like I'm a writer. I don't know if you guys knew this. We're going to talk about why writers aren't doing well in Hollywood right now. So we're going to have that kind of discussion. We're going to talk about a few different things like Beetlejuice 2 is getting ready to come out. So we're going to talk about a variety of topics that are important to the week. How about that? How about something that's like the weekly wrap up? Something like that.
All right. So guys, you guys think about this while we're spinning the wheel for Kyle. Okay. Why am I coughing so much? Jesus.
I see a freedom fries and I see a free balling with Shane. I like that.
I'm sort of liking freedom fries. That sounds cool.
No, you're just hungry.
No, it's a cool name. Anyways, well, I'm continuing. Let's do the wheel.
Okay.
Here we go. Okay. No.
Oh, is this it? Okay, so wait.
No, hold up. It's wrong. Hold up.
No, that's not the right one. Yeah.
I thought
that's for members. So look, what's cool? If you're thinking about becoming a member, you could win one of these every month.
Oh, I got it. I fixed it. Sorry, I forgot to save my settings. Here we go. Okay, that did not work. Let me just take this off the screen real quick.
I love the little logo of us. That's cool. I've never seen that before.
That's the Unleashed logo.
Wow, I've never seen it.
Really?
Cool. No, that's not our Unleashed logo.
Yeah, it is. That's the Unleashed logo.
Oh, so what do those things say?
I'm trying to fix it. It's like broken.
Oh, I see. You're fixing it. Yeah. So while Brian is trying, I mean, it's the first time we've ever done this. So, and honestly, we started doing it yesterday. So it's it's less than 24 hours trying to do this. But Kyle, we're going to get your prize up here. And what do we have that you can possibly win? I know he's putting it down. We got 2 different autographed things. They're both TNG related, but 2 different types of autographs. You can win one or the other. You've got a Shut Up Wesley t-shirt. You've got a Star Trek Legacy mug, and you have a hat, which I don't have mine here. It looks like Brian's, but you can either pick the one that Brian's wearing or
no,
mine,
no. I put Brian and Shane's hat on there.
Oh, what does that mean?
So it's gonna roll one of them.
Oh, you put both of them on there, so they might get mine or your hat.
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of a cool idea.
Yeah, I actually needed another thing. So
the truth comes out. Okay, are we spinning anytime soon, or should I?
Yep. Give me literally one more minute.
Look at 60 seconds of talking. Okay, so let's go over some of the names we got here. Topics with Shane. I like that. Would you like some fries with that, Shane? Would you like some fries with that shake? I think I tell my wife that occasionally.
Okay, almost there. And
what's that cool graphic, bro?
That should do it. Okay.
That's great. Okay. So I guess we can kind of read them. Can you guys read that?
Yeah. Shut Up Wesley, landscape poster, portrait poster, legacy mug, Shane's hat or Brian's hat.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. Let's hope this works and it's not a complete joke. Ready?
On another wheel, we're going to show in the member section. We have every single member on a wheel, like all 116 members on a wheel, that can be picked.
Let's go. Cool. Here we go.
Okay, here we go. This is for Kyle. What does he win? I don't hear anything.
They hear it.
Can they hear something?
You won a portrait poster.
Which one?
The portrait one. The portrait autograph poster.
Oh, okay. Not the. Can you show him which one it is?
Yes, I can.
And I got to quickly go buy it.
This one right here. This is what you won, boss.
Oh, no,
nice. That's the landscape. I'm.
Oh my god, dude! You just got him totally excited.
Here we go.
What
this is the one. Sorry, man. That one.
Whoa, there it is.
Just as cool.
Congratulations, Kyle Proch. Kyle, if you can, please, you can email us or DM us on Twitter. Email us your mailing address, and we'll get that over to you right away. Appreciate you.
Yes.
And thank you to everybody who supported the chat today.
Yeah,
and,
let me give you
and played the game with us. Let us know what you guys thought. If you like the game, if you like what we did today, it's a little different.
Email us at that email address, Kyle, and we'll get you set up, bro. Okay, yes. Thank you so much for your support. We are going to go to the member section. If you are new, maybe you don't know how it works. The member section is actually 2 places. You might be the classic Prime member or the new Unleashed member. It's the same thing. And what we do there is we talk to you guys sort of one-on-one, and we sort of, shoot the crap and talk about things that we probably don't feel comfortable talking about in the public stream, because we don't want to, offend anyone or get someone mad or whatever, or spoil something and have the YouTube gods rain nukes down in our home. So it's more, it's like Unleashed Unfiltered, I guess. And it's it's not just to protect us, but it also allows us to be completely free. So please, my friends, if you want to come on over with us, you can click the link in the description below. Or if you're on Unleashed, just hit the YouTube, the channel name, and you'll see it ready to go. We're going to start up after this. And if you're on the Prime channel member, it's going to redirect you right over there. So that's it. We love you. We hope that you can join us in the member section, but if not, that's cool. We will be back tomorrow for Freedom Fries with Shane. And
no, it's not Freedom Fries.
Freedom Fries with Shane. That's what it's called.
No,
that's what we're calling it.
I will not listen. We're not doing that. It's not even. It's a food. It's not even a show. Freedom Fries. Why fries?
Okay. All right, hold up.
That makes no sense.
We can't go yet. Okay, we need to figure this out. All right,
it can't be fries.
All right, we had some options here. Freedom Toast.
Okay, let's hear some more options.
Oh, here's a cool name. Good Luck Tomorrow. That's a cool name for a show.
Oh, what was it?
Good Luck Tomorrow.
Luck for tomorrow. Good luck tomorrow.
Good luck
That's not
tomorrow
what-
with Shane.
I don't think that's what they meant.
Here's one. Free balling with Shane.
I like that one. But I like Sean's better.
What
Let's
was
go with
Sean's?
Sean's.
What was it?
Attack of the Shane.
Let's do that.
Attack of the Shane.
Why not? Why not? That's fun.
It could change, guys. It could change. But Sean, good job. Attack of the Shane. I like that one. And I like the free balling one.
I like
and,
in Shane.
actually,
Sean said in Shane. That's pretty cool too. It's almost like
Shane.
it's almost like that Jurassic Park company.
Like insane.
Insane in the membrane. All right.
Going insane. Got no
So
brain.
let me just reiterate. Tomorrow morning with Attack of the Shane here live. And then on Sunday, I will be streaming from the DC channel. I will not, there's no super chats on DC, but I would still love you guys to come and hang out with me. I'm not going to be streaming the DC stuff here. I'm going to stream it on DC, I think, right?
No, you can't. Are you?
That was the plan, right?
Oh, I don't know. Well, maybe that's fine. Stream it on DC. That's what you should do. You're right.
Yeah.
We'll provide links to that.
Yeah. So yeah, the links will be in the community section. We'll put it in the description of this video if you see it after the fact, whatever it is. We have a DC channel too. It's called DC Unleashed, just like Podcast Unleashed. So I'll be doing my show over there on Sunday, probably around 2:00 in the afternoon. I don't want to get up super early. And then on Monday we'll be back for Raw Rant on this channel at 2:00 with Daniel Davis, aka Moriarty himself.
Professor Moriarty is going to be on our Monday show. I hate the fact that I got this light here on me. Yeah, he's coming, guys. He's going to be on 2:00 on Monday. So make sure you guys come back. We got people lined up every week. We got superstars coming to talk to you guys every Monday on Raw Rant.
Yes. So yeah, again, don't forget, tomorrow Shane, Sunday me, and we'll all be back with Robert Meyer Burnett and Davis, aka Moriarty, on Raw.
Oh, and the Shuttle Pod guys will be with us on Monday as well. So we'll have Mark from the Shuttle Pod show.
So Shuttle Pod show, Robert Meyer Burnett,
Yeah.
Daniel Davis. Sounds like
For
a winning panel. A winning panel on which I'm going to get 0 words in, but that's okay.
No, Chris is not with us. You'll be okay.
In Shane in the membrane.
Going insane.
That's not bad.
In Shane in the membrane. Okay, we'll work on it.
By the way,
These are
Max,
good.
you're right. I'm gonna get some music for next week when we do Spin the Wheel. I will have music for that. I apologize. I did not have that this week. All right, that's it. We're going to the member section. We love you so much. Nothing is better than doing the show with you every Thursday, and we thank you for your patronage. We thank you for your support and just watching and just talking with us. There's nothing better. It literally fills my entire week up with joy, and this is why I haven't crashed my car into a bridge.